Oh god, hello. That was scary. My mouse ran out of battery. I just had to plug it in. I had to scrabble around for a cable. Nice to see you all. Welcome to a live stream with me, Tiny Peter. Oh, there's always something, isn't there? There's always some excitement. There's always something to keep us on our toes. Thanks for waiting. Right, hello. Good to see you. I'm playing some Crash Bandicoot today. It's very exciting. I'm gonna have a little sip of me tea.
What have you done with the controls, Gromit?
Well, quite. Yes, Gromit removed all control from my mouse. It's a bit bright in here today, isn't it? It's because it's actually sunshine has come out. I've had my camera all set up for dark streams over the past however long, and now it's a lovely bright day. Should I turn my front light down a bit, just while I sort of regain composure? Even that's it's a bit much, but. What are you gonna do? I'll just be so pale. Remember that clip? So pale. I'll just be pale today. That's fine. Hello everyone. Nice to see you in the chat. It's Alien Sweathands, the Jacobite. C. Bennett is here. Scarf of Jericho. 3 Cats in a Dressing Gown. Lord B is here to mod. Death 89, Chris and Deadeye Minis, Leet Lionheart. We get the whole gang is here. Gemesis, Rye Wi-Fi. Nice to see every one of you. Benson Boy, Ben Cooper, Paul Painting Plastic. I could go on. Pup Wheelie. Thank you very much for the 15 stream streak from Scarf of Jericho. That's very impressive. Wow, well done. Hope Amy is feeling better. She's doing a bit better today. I mean, she's in work today, which is something. She's been able to drag herself through the rat race and get to work. So I guess that's an improvement. But she's still not 100%, sadly. Poor thing. But she's all right, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, nice calming sip there. Right, cool. Well. We're playing some Crash Bandicoot today, and that's what I need. I think that's what I need. I might eat those words today as we start playing the game. I was going to say that's what I need because it's a game I know. I can just sit back and kind of chill with it. But it is Crash Bandicoot 1, which is slightly more punishing, I would argue, compared to the other games. So maybe 3 levels in, I'll be going out of my mind. I don't know, but I think we're going to have a nice time. I think we are. There's Rye Wi-Fi with another streak. Well done, everyone. Thank you for being here for all these streams. And if you're not on a streak, but you've still been to like 14 or however many, and you've just broken it up at some point, don't worry. Streaks aren't everything. It's enough that you come along and you watch the streams. Or if you're not watching live and you're watching the VOD, hey VOD squad, thanks for being a VODer squadder. You are just as important. Arguably, I don't know actually what the sort of the breakdown is on Twitch versus. Yeah, I think I probably have more. I get more, yeah, I do actually, of course I do. I get more views on an individual VOD, generally speaking, than I do get live viewers. So there are probably a damn sight more of you watching on the VODs than there are live. So hello to everyone. Lord B, on a streak. I hope the stream won't crash. Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm here, please don't punish me for being late. You shan't be punished, don't worry. Nice to see you, Cooley Wooly. And hey, look, there's a link to the VODs channel. Lord Brotovich is absolutely on it today. Hello, Ed. Digging out of a blizzard here in the American Midwest. How are you doing? Well, here in the English Northeast, it's sunny. I mean, it could still be snowy and sunny where you are. Maybe the blizzard has passed and you're digging in the sunshine now. But either way, doing all right, thanks. And it's lovely weather. All the flowers are coming up in my garden, which is nice. So yes, you know, the obligatory weather report that you get at the start of podcasts, videos, live streams from me and Ben. It's quite sunny today, just in case any of you are wondering. I bet us Twitchies could take out all the VOD squatters. I would love to see that. I'd like to see a fight between the two of you. Some of you, I suspect, maybe not an awful lot of you, but some of you probably watch live and then maybe just watch the VOD again later, or watch half and half because you can't be here for the whole stream. So you'd have to pick a side, wouldn't you? I mean, that's, you know, that'd be really tricky, trying to decide who you'd have to fight for. Cool. Well, should we Crash Bandicoot up for the game? Shall we? Yes, let's do that. Speaking of, actually, the various bits of content that both I and Ben and myself do, there's loads of stuff you can go looking at now on the weekend. If you're a patron, a new episode of Worst Games Ever just went out. I also posted another video on my channel to get us back onto being out of sync with the YouTube release of Worst Games Ever, which is I've not been sticking to for the past couple of episodes because of scheduling changes. So, you know, you can find loads of Peter and Ben on the internet, particularly stuff that went out on the weekend. So there you go. And, you know, Ben, of course, streaming away as ever and posting his VODs. So, yes, lots to see, lots to go at. Let me pop me chat over to the side and then we can start the game. And we'll see how much of a horrible time we might end up having. See if I regret what I said, which is that it's going to be nice and chill. Fingers crossed, it's nice and chill. Oh yes, lovely. Why have we got a black bar at the bottom but not at the top? How odd. We'll see what it looks like when the game starts. That might just be the Sony logo. Billy Possum has haunted me all day. Yeah, he's a haunting character for sure. Nostalgic sound. It is a good sound, isn't it? Very nice. Bip, bip, bip. This is a good sound too. I've got this set to my usual PS1 emulator volume, but do let me know if it needs a boost or a dip. Seemed alright to me in testing. We're going to get a big scream from Crash on the title screen. It's probably the loudest sound you're going to hear in the entire run. There it is, the original weird Naughty Dog logo with the strange nose. Oops, that's just me turning up my own volume there. Crash Bandicoot. We do have a little black bar on the bottom here. Let me just see if I can fix this without absolutely... No. Without absolutely, he says, screwing up... Okay, maybe... It's doing some snapping that I'm not really enjoying, but... Oh yeah, well actually this is worth... I'm glad that happened, because this is the only way you get to see the opening cutscene of the game, weirdly.
But Dr. Cortex...
Cortex?
We have not determined the cause of past failures. Moron! This Bandicoot will be my general, and he will lead my Cortex commandos to world domination. This time I shall reign triumphant. We are closer than ever before. Quickly, into the vortex! But Dr. Cortex, the vortex is not ready. We have no idea what it could do. Failure again. Capture him!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Prepare the female bandicoot.
Look at those unrealistic beauty standards on that sexy, sexy lab assistant. Both of them. Never mind Torna. Big square head. If you don't have a big square head, I'm not interested. Right. So, Crash was an ordinary bandicoot from here, the Wumpa Archipelago. A word you don't get to use very... In fact, two words you don't get to use very often in life. Wumpa and Archipelago. Despite living in the British Archipelago. Dr. Neo Cortex was going to use his Cortex Vortex. Which is a little bit... It's a bit of a Wallace and Gromit invention, really. To, turn Crash into a mutant bandicoot so that he could lead his Cortex commandos to world domination. He was rejected by the machine because he's so crazy. Although, as we find out in Crash 4, it's actually a bootstrap paradox. There's some time travel involved, but we'll discover that in, you know, about 8 streams time when we get to Crash 4. Here we are now. Interestingly, Crash was wearing jorts and sneakers, or whatever these are, shoes, before he went into the vortex. So it's not like they put just an ordinary quadrupedal marsupial into the machine and he came out sort of somewhat anthropomorphic. He was seemingly already... Maybe they dressed him before he went in. They were like, look, when this guy comes out as a mutated general, he'll be really embarrassed if he comes out naked. So we'll put some clothes on him before he goes in. That's what I'd do. Yeah, the lab assistants were sexy before Lara Croft. I really like it. This game is really underrated for the way it kind of... Compared to the others, until sort of Crash 4 really came back around on the idea. The way it kind of really tells an actual adventure story by way of its hub world and its level order, and the way that like one level transitions into another, mostly. There are a couple of spots where it's a little bit... It doesn't really make sense that you're going from one space to another, but largely, it does feel like you've washed up on a beach after falling out of the window at Cortex Castle, and you go from one level to the next, and it really, you know, you're going from one place to the next in this interesting place. Right, let's see if I can do the bridge in one, because... Oh, I missed... That's alright, I'll come back for that. I have to backtrack anyway. Because last time I tried to do this on stream, that happened. Now, I might just restart, because you have to get all the boxes in one life in this game to get the gem. I'll have one more go at that. I forget that in this game, if you land with momentum in the air, so if you're jumping forwards, if you spin as you land, Crash carries on sort of sliding a little bit, which I think they got rid of in all later games. But yeah, it's very easy to slip off that edge if you're absolutely bombing it along with your triple mask form. So it's a good start. But it does feel like tradition at this point that whenever I stream Crash 1, I do have to die on the first level, just to really set the scene for how good I am at this series, which is very good. I'm thinking at the moment, I'm not committing yet, I'm absolutely not committing, but I'm thinking we could be going for a 100% run on this. Because otherwise, if I do an any percent and just race to the end, I'll be nearly there by the... Ooh, that's a bit tasty. I'll be nearly there by the time I've done 1 3-hour stream. Oh. Okay, here we go. We got them all. He zapped the first one without even stepping foot onto the bridge, which was a little bit worrying. Right, I'm just going to watch out for potentially some turtles here. I can't remember if there are any. But yeah, there's a split in this first level, which is kind of interesting. Ooh. Okay, the mask saved me there. Is there a pit here? I can't remember. There might be, maybe not. No, I think this is coming back to the branch. There we go. Right, did I get the big stack at the start? Yeah, the stack is in that archway, isn't it? Am I right? Or is it back here? Where there's that, like, 4x2 stack, I can't remember if I got them all on this life or not, but I can't quite remember where that stack is. It's here. It's definitely not... Okay, it's... Yeah, we've got it. It's up here, isn't it? It's at the top of the hill, so I must have got them all. This game does not have a box counter. You press triangle and it just brings up how many fruit and lives you've got, but... And I did I get them all on the bridge? It wasn't the smoothest bridge crossing I've ever done, but yeah, I got them all. Okay, cool. Well, I think we've got every box. So we're going to get our first gem, and we're going to be on our way to 100%. 106% on nothing, says C. Bennett. Yeah, you're right. In the Insane Trilogy, you can get 105% completion of this game. It's 100% in on the PS1 build, 105% I think in Insane Trilogy, because they re-added, or as DLC, they added Stormy Ascent. A level so hard, it was removed from this version of the game. He cheers because he got there in one. Did I get all the boxes? Da da da! It's very good. Oh, have we got anything on our virtual memory card? It's trying. It doesn't really matter. This game has a password system as well, so you can just... Oh. Oh. Okay, wow, it really had a time reading it. Maybe it's better now if I do make a save, because if it's going to try and do that every single time, we're not going to have a good time having to sit through that. But, there you go. Why is his face doing that? Well, this game was actually the animation style and the character designs and stuff, and I guess to an extent the music was inspired by the Looney Tunes. It was heavily inspired by the Looney Tunes, so it's meant to be very cartoony. There are like more polygons in Crash's face than there are in the rest of his body, I believe. He's so expressive. And I think... Is it right that... What, there's some fact that like there's more polygons in Crash's model than some of the levels as a whole. I don't know. That's not quite right. That seems ridiculously a ridiculous statistic, but something like that. He's got so many triangles on him, relatively speaking, and by that I mean dozens. Wow, that's loads. Oh, we could have triple mask form if I'd not sacrificed one to the tortoises. TP just setting out that the game is really hard, that you can even die on the first level, so when he bosses the rest of the run, he looks better. You've seen through my ruse there, Deadeye Minis. You're right. Bring back virtual memory cards. Oh, rip virtual memory cards. Right, we've got skunks in this level, but we can deal with them. It's fine. Did you know you can fit all of the continental United States into Texas? What? Yeah. Yeah, you can. Did you know you can fit all of continental United States into Crash Bandicoot? That's how many triangles he's got. Oh. I remember when I was a kid not really realizing that I thought that was just like an artistically ragged square, yellow square with a shape in the middle. That's obviously Torna's hair, and of course it is. You look at it and it's clearly Torna's big yellow hair, blonde hair. But I used to sort of see that weirdly as though it was a sort of a ragged, sort of yellowy piece of paper and then that means that her face in the foreground is actually all there is, which means it's just this very strange orange triangular face. I don't know what I was thinking, given that you even see her at the end of the bonus levels. So, but, you know, this was one of the very, very first games I ever played, actually, had for my PS1. So, you know, I can't have been very old. I think I was maybe 5 or 6 when I first started playing this game. Right, we can't actually 100% this level anyway, so we'll just grab as many fruit as we can while we're here, because, you know, fruit equals lives. And we're going to need lives. But, oops, that one came right at the end. Oh, yikes, okay. We'll have to come back later for the gem, because first we need to find the green gem in a later level. Peter has unrealistic beauty standards for female bandicoots. I have unrealistic beauty standards for lab assistants. The beauty standards in Crash 1 for female bandicoots for Torna here, they're very of their time. I mean, wow. I forgot how... There's an awful lot of polygons in her t-shirt, I would argue. But, you know, this is a 90s character design. And then in Crash 4, Torna is dummy thick. Which, you know, we're fine with. That's great. You know, whatever. If that's what you like, which many people like. So's Dingo Dial as well, so it's not just the ladies. Whoa and yowza. We're getting some good reactions in the chat there. And wowza. We've covered all bases there, really. Look at them t-shirt polygons. Awooga. Ah, and I can't stress this enough, wooga. Indeed. I should have called this stream Bandicooty Standards, shouldn't I? Rather than, what did I call it? Enjoyable. Dr. Enjoyable. They don't even really do the N puns in this game, actually. It's not until later when you get Engine. Oh, well, they do have Embryo, don't they? Which is not really, you know, because he should be Embryo. If that's meant to be the pun. If it meant to sound like embryo, he should be, you know, Dr. Michael Brio. But he's Embryo, which is kind of weird. But then, yeah, you get engine later on and entropy. Yeah, I want to get her bandicooties. Crash has pretty unrealistic beauty standards as well. He's got no neck. His shoulders just become head. Your polygons are beautiful. Yeah, Embryo, like Dr. Nitrous Brio, the lab assistant, the sort of the henchman we met earlier in the cutscene. Well, we didn't meet him. Well, we saw him. He's the sort of secondary boss, the second-in-command boss of this game. We fight him very near the end of the game, actually. Only like 2 levels before we fight Cortex. And his name is Dr. N. Brio. Nitrous Brio. And it's, I assume, given that all the other N characters in later games from the series were puns, I assume it's meant to be a pun on embryo. But as I say, it doesn't work because it's N. So he should be Dr. Mitrus Brio. Okay, we got some spiky things here, which of course all natives of Oceania install in their fortresses. This is a well-known fact and is not sort of reductive and ignorant at all. I mean, the beauty standards on that life icon as well are quite something. There is hot dish everywhere we look in this game. And wait until you see Pinstripe Potteroo in the next stream. Not only is he an attractive man / Potteroo, but he wears a sharp suit and he runs a business empire. So... Oh yeah! Dr. Nice Brioche. He probably does have nice brioche. He actually becomes a bartender at the end of this game. They do a Where Are They Now with all the characters. 7% complete already. Wow, we're absolutely blitzing through this game. I'm become head destroyer of boxes. It's just head all the way down. He's all head. Whoops. So again, we can't 100% this level, so that's fine. These yellowy looking things will become solid gems that we can platform on later when we've got the yellow gem. But hey, no deaths yet. I'm relying heavily on those masks, but no deaths yet. Yeah, I know. I know I did. I know. Chill out. Or did I die? Have I died once on the on Rolling Stones? Because it didn't... I don't remember seeing a great but you missed some boxes. And you only get that when you complete a level without dying. Maybe I did die. TP's gone early with his one use. Well, I've realised I've past couple of streams, I don't think I've used it. Well, there's definitely been at least 1 or 2 streams recently where I've not used it. I've got to get in there and use it, I think. Right, this level, theoretically, we can get a gem, I think. So, I think the next boulder level we can't until we've got, like, the blue gem or something. But on this one, we should be able to get everything. This game, I think as early as Crash 1, certainly later games in the PS1 trilogy, but I think this one has adaptive difficulty. So if you keep dying on this level, or maybe even if you've been not doing very well throughout your entire run, I don't know if it tracks it like that, but certainly if you keep dying over and over again on this, the boulder starts to go slower, which for 1990 year of release, 6? When did this one come out? 6, I think. For 1996, pretty good. Pretty interesting. The chat have got it. 96. I thought so. Oop. Grab that one. The boulder will, I think, break boxes in this game. Again, in later games, definitely the polar bear and the dinosaur that chase you in Crash 2 and 3 will break boxes for you. There we go, we made it. Banked some uses. I don't know if I get to bank the uses, Deadeye Minis. I don't think I should. Because otherwise, I could end up just spamming it constantly. We could do the occasional... one of those if we want, but oh good, it's not gonna take ages to see the memory card every time. We've established this, which is good. Grew up playing this and never questioned the fact that it's older than me. Oh no.
You're doing incredibly well, aren't you? What a sexy player!
Oh. Thank you very much. Fleshy Labs. I support TP being mature rated. You better had. I mean, you know, it's too late if you don't. Upstream, I think, requires a gem. So we won't worry too much about boxes or deaths. Oh, this is nice music, this one. This was about as far as I got as a kid, I think, upstream. Or maybe it was the second water level, but one of these 2 stream levels, I remember getting really far. And, you know, we had like 1 life left. My siblings were watching me. And I was getting so stressed. I was like wiping my brow. It was getting so hot. I was like, oh my god, the stress. I seem to remember, though, being aware of Ripper... Oh, I was definitely aware of Papu Papu, who we've not fought yet, and probably Ripperoo as well. So yeah, maybe it was the second one. Up the Creek, is it called? Yeah, I guess this one isn't as taxing. But... Oh no! I read the chat for a moment, and I looked back, and the leaf was leaving without me. Oh, whoops. Well, that was just a drop to A press, I think. There we go. Used to get walled by Native Fortress. Yeah, that sort of area. And then I think once I finally graduated beyond Up the Creek, it was pretty much one of the temple levels was where it ended for me. Sunset Vista, maybe. And for many years, I was only able to play other levels by entering the super password, which was just in a magazine that I bought, a gaming magazine, had some Crash Bandicoot passwords in it. Which was long after the game came out. They didn't just immediately drop a bunch of cheats, effectively. In anyone got enough channel points for a cheater? Because that's basically what I used to do. I used to use a password to unlock every level in the game. And then, yeah, in later years, when I knew what I was doing...
Cheater!
Thank you very much to Scarf of Jericho there. I did start to, you know, I did some legit runs, but...
Cheater!
Here they come, thick and fast. Super password. I mean, that is what it's called, the firewall. It is officially... You start typing a password in. It says enter password on the front menu. And then once you press the triangle button twice, it suddenly... The words come apart and the word super comes in between. Enter your super password. I don't know at what point the game starts giving super passwords, because it's not just for the 100% completion. You start getting super passwords, I think, once you've just got quite a lot of stuff on your save file. Hey, we're doing alright. ATP just caught the stream. Is this just a standard run-through of Crash? Hello, Tim Tam Jim Jam. Yeah, I thought, you know, let's step away from the mods just for a moment. And we'll have a nice little jaunt through certainly Crashes 1 to 3. And then, that's a good noise. Ooh. How many polygons are there in Papu Papu's ass crack, is what I want to know. At least 2. Oh, I touched him by accident. Got him. That's enough. Get away. I don't want your yee-haw. Yeah, so we're gonna. I'm certainly gonna stream Crashes 1 to 3 in this Monday slot for the next few weeks, and then either we'll move straight on to 4, or we might play something in between. But then shortly we'll be playing Crash 4, which is a darn sight more challenging than the PS1 games. And I'll say now, I will not be going for 100%. Whoops, of Crash Bandicoot. A lot more challenging than Crash 1, he says, being killed by a piranha plant. I will not be going for full completion of Crash 4, because I've not even done that casually in my own time. Because you have to do the insanely perfect, or whatever it's called, insanely perfect run or something, where you have to go through every level without dying, which in itself is quite tricky because it's a difficult game, and you have to find all the boxes in that single life, and you have to whoops, didn't build up enough momentum there. You seemingly can't do that jump from on the spot. I'm going to start using my thumbstick, I think, because as I'm switching from one direction to the other on my Xbox controller, which is, as Ben and I have complained in the past, is just one big plate rather than a series of different buttons. Oh, that's much smoother, the movement now. I'm stopping because I'm letting go of, like, forward. By the time I've reached backwards, I've had my finger off the D-pad for too long. It is worth playing. I normally, you know, a lot of this game you should actually play with D-pad, I think, because it's the easiest way to sort of bounce from one box to the next. Even into, like Crash 4, I tend to use D-pad, but... Oof, okay, lucky escape there. Somewhere in here, I think the middle one, yeah, has a life in it. Oh, and there's a Brio. Okay. Can't remember if we can complete this level without a coloured gem, but we'll see. So we've got a Brio bonus level coming up, and they can be very tricky. Well, they're not so tricky. Whoops. Oh, in fact, the Brio mask might be above that bouncy thing that I just destroyed.
What have I got?
Is it up there? It might be. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, the Brio things are, it's more that you can't really look ahead very far, so you don't know what you're jumping into. And then you've bounced on a TNT and set the fuse off, and then you sort of walk to the right a bit and realise, oh crap, I've got loads of stuff to do before this goes off, and then that's it. You get one chance, and then you're dead, and you don't get to come back until you do another playthrough of the level. So we'll see how that goes. If I've not missed it already. I may have just missed it, I'm not sure. But we'll see. Hello, Nate. Nice to see you. Oh. See, that's the problem with using the thumbstick. The D-pad, that'll have you moving left and right with no forwards or backwards movement. Oh, there's a blue gem here anyway, so we can't complete this level as it is. You end up going down into that pit. You see there's a thing down there, but you can't just jump down. You have to ride that blue gem. Will we get the Brio mask, though, just to have a little look at it? Yeah, I think it's one of these. Yeah, okay. So here's what we're dealing with. Good music is what we're dealing with, but... So, you know, that's all we've got to go off. So I'm going to bounce on these two TNTs, but I can't really remember what else is coming. And, you know, I'm going to hit a wall or something and then realise, oh, I've got to turn around and go left towards the TNT that's about to explode. So... Okay. That's a good start. Alright. Okay. Oh, no! Anyway, all you get for that is that just contributes to the box count, which, as I say, we can't complete anyway because we need the blue gem. So, you know, no big loss, but did it in one life, apparently, because deaths in bonus rounds don't count as deaths. But, hey, we missed this many boxes. Not many, but enough to not get our gem. But we'll be back. I'll be back. Hello, Milesy. Goo afternoon to you too. I'm doing goo. I hope you're doing goo too. 5 lives and then a death. Oh, there we go. I thought this was hilarious as a child. Still is. That face at the start. You know, that alone is what you want. I like that it makes a noise every time you move left or right. Bounce on the drums there. Oh no! Missed our box. Oh, and another one. Yikes. Well, I might just... Oh, I need to do it in one life, actually. I was going to say I might just restart, but... Hello, game. No. There we go. I'll do it. I'll have a go at doing it in one. Go for the gem. Never been to I'll be back. I actually don't think the bonus rounds count for boxes in the PS1 version. Oh, do they not? Oh, so maybe the only boxes we missed were down in the hole. Maybe they don't, actually. Yeah, you could be right. I'm not sure. What's the point in the Brio bonus rounds then? Because that's not how you get the keys for the bonus levels. You get those from the Cortex ones near the end. So I'm not quite sure what the point of completing them would be, other than fun, you know. The Tawna ones are good because they give, you know, they're a save point. But we've kind of done that. I mean, tempting fate here. We've kind of done the hard bit. There we go. It's the end. There's a bit there where you have to go left and then right to a stack of 3 boxes in an L shape, and that's notoriously difficult to get. Well, not notoriously difficult, but it's notorious for sometimes just not giving you all 3. But there we go. Da-da-da. So those 2 keys we're looking for, 0 out of 2, we get those later from some Neo Cortex boss fights. Or bonus rounds. But, yeah, I don't know. The beer rounds are literally just for bonuses, like that one ended on a few extra lives. Okay, fair enough. Well, we don't have to worry too much then, do we? Did you ever play the PS2 Crash where you have the missions inside the ball? I did. That's Wrath of Cortex, right? Which was the first PS2 Crash game. I can tell you a couple of things about that. Firstly, I streamed it on Triple Jump, and I'll probably stream it on here eventually. I mean, it's a bit rough in places, isn't it? You know, some of it is kind of unnecessarily punishing, and it's also just feels like there's a lot of empty space in that game, from what I remember. Lots of quite wide corridors with not a lot of stuff going on in them. But that was made, I believe, by TT Games, Traveller's Tales, right? Which we were talking about in the previous stream, because they also made Haven Call of the King and the Lego games. Pretty sure it's them. It's certainly the composer they used to use, and yeah, I'm sure it's them, because the ball stuff that you do, when you run around in the hamster ball, that also featured in Haven, and some of the the heat effects. You get this almost like a mirage, you know, when...
Thank you, my darling.
Oh, thank you very much, my darling. When heat gives off like a wavy effect, that graphical sort of particle effect that you see in Crash also features in Haven. So yeah, it was Traveller's Tales. I thought it was okay, but too many vehicle levels for me. Yeah, I agree, Rye Wi-Fi. I think it's a bit better than people give it credit for. You know, it's kind of a bit of an ugly duckling, isn't it? But yeah, too many vehicle levels. Thank you, Timmy Whiff, for subscribing via Prime for 2 months now, on a 2-month streak. Thank you so much. Yeah, I find that... Oops. What was I just saying before I bounced on a shield and nearly died? Yes, vehicle levels. I find that, you know, Crash is at his best when he's not... Well, you know what? I don't know, actually. So people say that in Crash 3 there are too many vehicle levels, and they don't like the jet ski and the motorbike, and you know, maybe they don't even like riding on Purah the cat. And you know what? I don't mind those levels. I don't even mind the jet ski ones, which some people do complain quite a lot about. I find the biking ones not, you know, not super easy, but I think they're fun enough to add a bit of variety. And the plane ones as well, you know, they're kind of tricky and a bit annoying, but I don't dislike them. However, probably the only vehicle level type in the Crash trilogy, the original Crash trilogy, that I actively kind of dislike, was the main selling point and boss fight gameplay of Crash 2, which was the jetpack. I really don't like the jetpack, but it was like a huge selling point for, you know, it was all over the branding and the box and stuff for Crash 2. I don't like that jetpack. I don't like the controls. And that's it. That's the main thing I don't like. I don't like how it controls. And, you know, it's not a good boss fight. You know, Crash Bandicoot, it's never been a game with really big, interesting, exciting, clever boss fights. They're all relatively subdued. You know, even especially in this game, 1996. But I would argue that the Neo Cortex fight in Crash 1 is better than in Crash 2. You know, despite the technological limitations. Oh no. I always do that on my way down. I sort of impulsively try and spin those things. And then that happens. I'm like, oh yeah, I can get to the top before they blow back vertical, but no, I never can, and then you have to wait around even longer. So anyway, we got our mask, so we're good. Right. Let's make it to the top. Now read the chat. Sprout stuff, you don't mind the jetpack. Oh, Milesy says the jetpack was awful. Oh. We split the crowd. Now, there's a clever little cheeky thing you can do here, which is hop into the background. And this is intended because they put fruit behind here. Look, this guy doesn't know what to think. Doing a lovely pirouette. And I think there aren't any boxes along here, so you don't miss anything. You just get to bypass all the stuff. You do then have to sort of jump out of here though, which is a bit hairy. Okay. Usually took a couple of goes to get the muscle memory back for using it. Oh, the jetpack, yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that, you know, I wasn't a big fan of Crash 2 in the first place, just because I didn't actually get it until much later. I had Crash 1 and Crash 3 as a kid. Never ended up having Crash 2 for whatever reason, and you know, I think that just in itself contributes to how much you enjoy these sorts of games, like whether or not you know, it's the games that you had as a child that, you know, it doesn't necessarily... Ah, there we go, we can't. We're missing some gems. Oh, you have to go up to the clouds with those gems, which is kind of weird, but we'll be back. Yeah, you know, it's like, obviously nostalgia plays a factor, but even, you know, it's not even nostalgia sometimes as much as some stuff you just seem to like it better because you had it. It just feels like yours, you know, which is slightly different, I would say, to nostalgia. And so I'm sure that probably contributes to why I dislike Crash 2. Or, not dislike, but like it less. And then the fact that I like it less generally as a game probably then in itself contributes to the dislike I have for the jetpack levels. So it all kind of adds up, probably. And, you know, maybe to an unfair degree. But, hey. They're all great, though. They're all a technological marvel. When you hear, you know, what Naughty Dog had to do, particularly in this game, to get the absolute most out of the PS1, they pretty much hacked the console in a sense. Yeah, some really clever stuff. And obviously just generally being the unofficial mascot for PlayStation. That's, you know, that legacy alone kind of makes these games so significant. That's why I have a soft spot for Wrath of Cortex. It's the one I played most as a kid. Yeah, see, I can totally get that. I totally get why someone might think that that game is, if not the best, then, you know, maybe their favourite, or, you know, even just nowhere near as bad as, or you don't dislike it anywhere near as much as other people do. Because if you had it as a kid, great. You know, like Haven Call of the King, made by the same people. Hardly anyone played that. It's not remembered fondly by many people. And maybe that's partly its quality, maybe it's partly its obscurity. But, yeah, just because I had it as a kid, I remember it fondly. I mean, obviously you can't remember something that you didn't have as a kid anyway, so that kind of stands to reason. But in terms of kind of quality and enjoyment, I probably get a lot more out of it now than someone would if they played it for the first time. Not everyone. I'm sure some people would play it for the first time and be like, oh wow, this is, you know, exactly the kind of game I enjoyed in the PS2 era, or I still enjoy today. I do... Bad Workman blames his tools, but I do sometimes just drop inputs with this controller. I've said it before when I've been playing Spyro. so I don't feel like I'm making poor excuses now. At least I've got precedent for having said it in the past. It's a pretty good controller overall. It's third party, but it's quite clicky though. I think when I'm using my D-pad, you guys can hear everything that I do. But that's alright. Oh, yikes. I forgot he was going to stop in the middle. Right. Oh, I've mistimed that a bit. Ugh. That's unfortunate, actually, because I think it's only one of the water levels has gems that you have to ride. Or maybe it's both of them. It might be both of them, actually. So, whoops. That's just on me. I take responsibility when it is my fault. Yeah, I can't remember if this one also has gems we have to ride on or platform on, in which case it doesn't matter that we've died. But if it doesn't, then that's a shame, because we might be doing okay in terms of box count. I can vouch for the PS5 controller being excellent on Duck Station. Oh, I should try that, actually. Oh, he was about to do his yo-yo. I haven't tried... I didn't even think that that would be... It's not that I thought it wouldn't be compatible, but it just never occurred to me that I could even attempt to use it. I mean, I could literally just grab one right now, to be honest. Oh! I forgot you could spin those fish. Okay. Da-da-da! My first games were Wonder Boy and Bubble Bobble, showing my age now, says Veraxis the Witch. I'm not even sure, I've not even heard of Wonder Boy. I've heard of Bubble Bobble, not played it. Hello, Crash? Get in that gap. I'll spin it then, fine. Jeez. So these situations, you know, if you're not using D-pad, you're not playing it right. But then, as I say, Xbox controller D-pad is not, I would say, as good as PlayStation. Because it's that great big plate. 26%. Got to be careful, my wife's come home now, so I don't want her to walk in while I'm hanging out with Crash Bandicoot. That would be, it's grounds for divorce, I think. I have a bad memory, so I absolutely could not tell you what my first games were, says Benson Boy. Yeah, what were everyone's first games? First consoles and first games? Because as I say, this was one of mine. There's like a handful of games that I couldn't necessarily tell you which were my first. I do remember unwrapping a copy of Tekken 1 for Christmas. Possibly the same Christmas I got my PS1, so that could actually be the one. There have been various games over the years where I've said, oh yeah, that was my first, but... And it's not that I'm trying to be... I'm not lying. I'm not like, knowingly lying, but, yeah, I sort of misremember, or I assume that it's one thing and then another. Like, for example, I sometimes kind of think, oh, it must have been Spyro 1. That will have been, if not the first, then sort of amongst the first batch of games. But actually, if I really stop and think about it, I don't think it will have been, because I remember playing Demo 1 that came bundled with the console, and that had a Spyro 1 demo on it, and I remember thinking, this game's great, I would like this game. And then later, my older brother said to my dad, like my dad was trying to decide what games he could get for us that were age appropriate, and my brother was like, oh yeah, Spyro the Dragon, it's about this dragon that goes around collecting strawberries. Red gems, actually, bro, but sure. I probably thought there were strawberries too, I don't know. So, you know, going off of that, it can't have been Spyro 1 as one of my first games, I don't think. Oh, just missed. You can actually be a little bit funny with this boss fight, because you can you get your double mask here, and you can actually just tank. You can just tank hits like this. So once you've got one sorted out for free, you don't actually have to bounce on them. Is that cheating? Cheater! Possibly. I saw a first-time chat there from Kofence, who said PS1 Tekken 2. Well, as I say, could be for me that it was PS1 Tekken 1. I think, really, if I really think about it... Cheetah. I'm trying to work out what I've got a lot of my old games here.
Just because you're great at everything doesn't mean everyone likes you.
Well, I think they do. I think everyone does like me. Let me go full screen. And what is there that is old? I mean, I don't have every game I ever had. I mean, Crash Bandicoot could have been... That may have even come officially bundled with the console that Father Christmas / my parents... I can't remember if it was meant to be from Father Christmas or if it was just from my parents, but that might have actually come bundled with the purchase. So it could be... I do have... That's Tekken 3, and it should have Tekken 1 there, but I keep it in the cupboard down below because it's a weirdly... Like, the box is slightly smaller. I think because it's such an old game, I think the standard... They've not quite nailed down how they were doing stuff. I don't think it's a dodgy copy. I think it's an official thing, but the box is just like a couple of milliliters. Wow, the volume is smaller. Yeah, it's a couple of mil shorter, and it kind of looks a bit weird on my shelf, so I don't display it. But yeah, Tekken 1, I think it could well have been Tekken 1 and Crash 1. So here we are. What else? I can't remember my first game, says Ed. I remember a lot of Pitfall on the 2600. I am old. Commodore 64 and Master System, says Vraxus. My PS1 era involved a lot of games I started multiple times but could not get any further. I can relate to that, Cooly Wooly. Let's go back to full screen while I just read some of this chat. I need to catch up on this nice chat. It's nice to see so many of you here, by the way. Thanks for dropping by. PS1 Gran Turismo 2. Cool. I never owned a Gran Turismo game. I believe Gran Turismo 2 was the best-selling game on the console. I think it was 2. But Spyro and Crash are up there as well in the millions, and possibly Tekken 3 might be one of the best sellers. I'll look that up. Top PS1 best-selling games. I'm curious. I have seen this list before, but I can't. I'm sure it was Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 1 sold 10 million units, nearly 11 million. It's 1997. Final Fantasy VII's second best-selling. Never played that. Never owned or played a Final Fantasy game in my life. Gran Turismo 2 came third, so the GT games are the ones. Then Final Fantasy VIII. Tekken 3, I knew that was up there somewhere. Apparently, in at number 6, surprising entry, but understandable in some ways, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The 6th best-selling game on the PS1, 8 million copies sold. Then it was Crash 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Then Crash 3, Warped. Crash Bandicoot 1 just misses out on the top 10. It's at number 11. But at number 10 is Metal Gear Solid. And at number 9, Tomb Raider 1. So there you go. So Spyro doesn't get a look in the top 10. It's in the top 20. It's number 19 with nearly 5 million units sold. Tekken 2, 5.7 million units at number 16. Tomb Raider 3 and 2 are up there as well. So, yeah. Spyro the Dragon, number 19, and then Spyro 2 is a bit further down at 27. Shortly, just followed by Spyro Year of the Dragon at number 29. So, yeah, some good series there. What else have you guys... What were your consoles and your games? Mega Drive and possibly Sonic, says Big Sav. SNES and Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Star Fox, says Paul. Dreamcast Sonic Adventure. First console I bought was an Xbox 360, says Benson Boy. Super Test on Commodore 64. We got some dare I say it, I mean, you guys have been using the word, not me. We've got some older people in this chat than I expected, actually, which is nice. It's good to have some equally old as me people to stream to. Yeah, Super Test on C64. Driver, yeah, oh, that's infamous, Gemesis, the tutorial. I had a copy of Driver, and I remember playing the game, so I must have got past the tutorial, but don't have any specific memories of how hard it was, but I'm aware of how, like, you know, looking back now and seeing some gameplay of the tutorial, I'm like, how did I ever get past this as a kid? I don't remember. I've not had such a bad time with it that it's like left a lasting memory in my head, but I must have struggled, surely. But I guess I just didn't really encode it. Maybe I've just filed it away somewhere because it was so traumatic. Benson Boy had an Xbox One S, PS4, Series S, and PS5. Wow. Loads. I'm not sure if I've ever owned more than one current gen console at once. I've had more than one console at once, but from different generations, like stuff that I've kept and then, you know, upgraded onto other stuff. But I don't think I've ever had two at the same time from the same generation. Not sure. There are a few PS1 case variants that aren't very well documented. Oh, really? Yeah, well, my Tekken is a bit small. My first proper games were Ratchet and Clank and Pokemon Yellow, though I did have a Mega Drive for a bit with Classic Sonic and Echo the Dolphin. Wow, that game gets pretty tricky at times, I think. Unholy Warlord B, you know, it probably was a very early one for me, thinking about it, but that came out in 98, I think, around the same time as Spyro, so that was probably sometime after I got my PS1, I think. Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. I've got Duke Nukem Time to Kill on the shelf behind me. I've been thinking about streaming that at some point, because it is quite, you know, as PS1 games go, it's quite a fun one. It's just, you know, it's Duke Nukem, so it's not aged super well, but, you know, it might be. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's as bad as, like, Duke Nukem Forever, so I don't know, maybe it is. And when I say bad, I don't mean quality. It's definitely not as bad as Duke Nukem Forever, but it might be bad in terms of the things he says and does. I'm not really sure. I might have to. Maybe I'll scout it out before I stream it just to see how problematic it is. Anyway, let's play some more of the game. But Pokemon Yellow when I was 4 years old. Wait. Hello, Cheska. Welcome in. Nice to see you. We were just talking about. We have been playing some Crash, but you may have come in there while I was on the full screen talking about our first consoles and first games. Oh, here's where things get a little bit tricky. First thing you have to do is... Oh, you know what? I probably should have done this... Oh! Okay. Well, that's not really intentional. You're not really supposed to be able to do that, but I just forced it. We are now going to have to jump back again. How did I do that the first time? Can't replicate it. Okay. I'm going to try and do this with the thumbstick. Oh, okay, there we go. Jeez. I mean, the odds of me completing this level in one life are not high, so I needn't necessarily worry too much about the gem at this point. But, you know, I'd rather not have to backtrack it later on in another stream, so we'll see how we get on. Yeah, I maybe should grab a PS5 controller. I don't have one in here, do I? No. Grab a PS5 controller, because, you know, I am using my D-pad a lot, and I can just feel that it's not quite right. And then I'll have no excuses, will I? It will all definitely be my fault at that point. And there's a Torna. Choice, language, and opinions. That's Duke. That's Duke for you. I've never played Duke Nukem 3D. I should play that. Was that available on PlayStation, or was it only PC? I think it was on PS1, wasn't it? I mean, you know, I'm sure it's not necessarily the thing I want to play now, but... First game was Need for Speed Underground 2. Oh, really? Nice. It's a good way to start your gaming career. Okay, that was interesting. That was... I tapped up and let go, and he carried on running. I think... I am going to change controller, because I have had that before as well in Spyro, where it sort of holds down an input when I've not done it. I'm trying to replicate it now. Oh, that. Yeah, sometimes it holds the button longer than you really held it. I am going to very, very quickly run downstairs and grab a PS5 controller. And hope that it just is pretty much plug and play. I'll stick on the BRB screen, but it won't be long. I'm literally just going to go grab that. So I will see you in less than a single circuit of the Sims loading screen. Don't go anywhere. Nah. Right, let's see if this just works. Hello, welcome back. That's a good noise, at least. Oh, it actually just works. I've not even had to map it. Oh, this feels good. It does feel better to be playing Crash with the PS1 form factor in hand, for sure. Look at that. Look how tiny. Look at the tiny movements I can do. Tiny Peter, tiny movements. That's what we like to see. It's changed your audio. Oh no, is there a microphone in here? Oh, the game somehow got louder. Oh, hang on. Wait. Okay. That should have at least gone for the time being. Yeah, so it sometimes treats PlayStation controllers as a speaker. Because I now can't hear the game, and you guys clearly can at like max volume. So let me just... Yes, okay, output device, speakers dual sense. That's not what we want. Right, that is better. So that should be better. Hopefully it didn't deafen you. Can you now hear it? I'll look at Crash. Here comes the fruit. Splat. The flesh of Wumpa fruit. Purple, apparently, or the juice. Just you. We're back to normal now. No, we can. That's better. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's to do with the fact that there's like a microphone and a speaker in here. When you plug it in, sometimes Windows tries to... Oh. Well, as I say, I'm probably not gonna... Oh, what's select? Is it share? Yeah. I'm probably not going to be able to do this in one life, but I'll have one more go now that I at least have a more responsive gamepad. It wasn't too bad, just a bit too loud. Okay, cool. Now, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect at this, but this does feel better, so that is good. Thank you for the suggestion. Was it... There we go. I think it was your boy CHR who suggested that. Good shout. Well, the fact it's plug and play, like, surprised me, actually. I thought I was going to have to remap it. Dun, dun, dun. Right, so that is where the switch for this upcoming box is. I've just bounced up there and got it. So that box there only appears when you bounce on that stripy one in the background. Okay, so the tricky thing here is jumping up there without landing on the box and breaking it, because you want to bounce off this box so that you can reach the thing above it. There we go. There we go. Right, we've got our Brio, which seemingly, according to the chat, is meaningless. It's just to get some lives, but we'll try it anyway. They really did improve the movement in Crash 2. I forgot how... I mean, I don't mind it because I am quite used to it, given that I did used to play this game a lot as a kid, but I'm still surprised every time despite having the muscle memory and it's still kind of feeling natural, I'm also at the same time surprised by how kind of wooden and awkward it can be to play Crash 1. It really is. You have to just get hands on with it and with a later game in the series to really notice the difference, but hang on, we need this guy to bounce back so that we can get up there. Nice. Okay, we're currently on for a gem here, which is good. I think actually one of these levels requires a coloured gem to ride on, so we might be disappointed later. Might be doing so well, and then we'll get up somewhere and it'll be like, hey, ride on the pink gem to get the last box in this level, or come back, or come back later. We'll see. Was there any game you remember playing when you were younger that were too difficult, resulting in not returning to them? Could make a fun stream game, seeing if you could pass it now. That's a good shout. I mean, Kingsfield, I talked about recently, was a game that I had, and, you know, pretty much just used to restart over and over again. Partly because, I mean, if you go back far enough, I mean, Kingsfield actually might be another very, very, very early game that I had for the PlayStation. But yeah, partly because in the very early days, I don't know if I ever did not have a memory card, but I certainly wasn't really aware of saving, which might sound really stupid now, but, you know, PCs... Oh no. Damn it. Home PCs were in their infancy, so my kind of, like, computer literacy was, you know... I wasn't aware of saving on... Well, I mean, I was aware of saving on there, because I used to, you know, draw stuff in Microsoft Paint and stuff, and oops, and paint and save stuff there. So it's not that I wasn't aware of saving at all, but it just wasn't as... It didn't come as naturally to me, or, you know, I didn't take it for granted that I should be able to save stuff all the time. And then also, you know, it was my first console. So, and in the very early games, some of them didn't support saving at all. They just had password systems. So, some games, I did a lot of just starting from scratch every time I booted them up, and I still had fun. You know, I've talked before about how I had that with Spyro 1. I used to play that from the start over and over again. I mean, you have to manually save in that game anyway, so it's like, and it doesn't. At least with this game, it says, do you want to save? So at that point, as a child, I might have thought, oh yes, I do want to save. Whereas in Spyro, you have to step on the platform of a dragon you've already freed. It's not even like when you free the dragon, you have to go back to one that you've already freed, and then select save game on there. So, you know, it will not have been coming naturally to me at that point to be saving the game. So I was restarting every time I booted that game up. And I've talked before about how one time I must have played either for a very long time 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm panicking. I'm gonna lose my job. Oh no! Either I played very well and happened to get all the right stuff in one session, or I just played for a very long time in a single day. But I made it to Magic Crafters, the third homeworld. And then eventually I had to turn the console off. And then for weeks or months after that, I was convinced that I once got to a snowy place. I just had it. There was this mythical snowy place in my mind. Where's the snowy place? I'm sure I got to a snowy place once. That's just what it was called in my head, the snowy place. I think I've got every. I don't think I've died, have I? I've only died in bonus rounds. I might actually get a gem here, folks. He's cheering. We did it in one life. Did we get all the boxes? We'll find out if the bonus rounds count now. Perfect. Da da da. And it's the green gem. How exciting. So now we can backtrack to somewhere or other. And in fact, when we get to Castle Machinery towards the end of the game, we're going to be able to pick up 30 lives and just finish the level in 2 seconds. We won't do. We'll play it legit. In fact, we'll have to play it legit if we want to get the gem anyway, but there you go. So anyway, I've still not answered the question. Any games I found too hard and kind of put aside as a child that I could revisit now. But yeah, Kingsfield was one that I definitely used to restart all the time. Maybe because I didn't understand saving, or maybe because it was too hard, or maybe both. But, you know, that's one that I could look at, and I've talked about that before. Children are all dumb. It's not weird. I got my Mega Drive for Christmas and thought it was broken until later in the day my cousin, Peter, came round and clunked the cartridge in properly, and it was fine. Kids are dumb. Yeah, for sure. Tried so hard and got so far. Yours was PS1 Digimon World, Iron. Yeah, I mean, what about you guys? Have you got a game that you only got as, you know, so far, and it was too hard, and you stopped? That face is scary. Do you think so? I don't think it's so bad, but when I played Spyro 1, I got halfway, but my memory card just decided to pack up on me. I lost everything I had. I was absolutely devastated. Oh, no. I love Jak 2, but the game put you through the trenches to beat it. Right, yeah. I mean, Driver, we've already talked about as well. Driver is definitely one for some people. If you know, trying to get past that tutorial. It doesn't let you progress if you can't do the tutorial, which is just incredibly difficult, by all accounts. So, I love, whenever I come to this level now, since Crash 4 came out... Oops. Oh, I stuck on the polygons there. I got a little bit... You do sometimes just stick to stuff in this game if you're not careful. I was pressing left and he didn't set off. I'll have another go, because Temple Ruins, I used to play this level a lot as a kid, and I might be able to do it in one, hopefully. If we don't need a gem, I don't know. But yeah, coming back to Temple Ruins and listening to this music, which is probably one of my favourite in the entire series, certainly in this game, once it gets going, you know. It reminds me of how well the composer for Crash... Oh, I did it again. Did you see I stuck there a little bit? I snagged. Snagged on the corner. How well they did with the soundtrack of Crash 4. It's got some amazing, you know, new melodies and themes and motifs, but also a bunch of just little riffs and things that come from earlier games. You know, it's a really well-balanced mixture of, yeah, you know, shameless nostalgia, and there's some music from this, some little hints from this track in there, which I like a lot. But also, you know, some genuinely great original pieces. The main theme, I still have a very vivid memory of booting up Crash 4 for the first time, pressing, you know, getting to the start menu, and just hearing the new theme and thinking, hell yes, I am so in. Really gets you in the mood, I think, the Crash 4 theme tune. But yeah, I really hope that if there's a Spyro 4, I would love for them to do the same sort of thing. Like, yeah, absolutely, you know, let it stand on its own merit and give it its own music and theme tunes and stuff, and level themes. You know, introduce lots of new stuff to the... Whoops. Oh, well. I might just carry on now, I think. Introduce new stuff, of course, but there's no harm in, you know, a couple of bits and bobs from an old soundtrack coming back. That fruit there is a hint. Why is there a fruit hovering over a pit? It's because... Haha! Tricky one, right? How are you supposed to know that? I mean, they do try and hint it to you, but... This always... I always think there might be something at the top of there that you like have to bounce up and get, but there's not. Rayman 2. Not because of its immense difficulty, just never knew where to go to progress. I found it, you know, relatively challenging in a, you know, in a good way as an adult anyway. When I streamed that towards the end of my time at Triple Jump. Ooh, yikes. Yeah, Rayman 2, it's not a walk in the park. But yeah, that was nice. felt like that with the original Doom. The moment I heard that music, I just loved the game. Yeah. Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. Hang on. I've started reading something and then jumped into some platforming. I was an adult by then. It cost me £40 to get a humiliating beat down. Oh no. Earthworm Jim, that's a pretty tricky game, I seem to remember. I've only played a tiny bit of Earthworm Jim, but yeah. Rayman 1, I mean, that is one that I did pretty much put down immediately. Did I even... Was it... I can't remember if I streamed it and then gave up after one stream, or if I just played it in my own time and gave up. But yeah, I do own a copy. I bought it much, much later in life. I never had it at the time. And I thought, I should play this Rayman thing, you know? Like everyone, you know, he's a bit of an icon. And he's, you know, a Michel Ancel production. I should give it a go. And I was like, and it's partly because I wanted to play the 3D Rayman games, because, you know, they're iconic 3D platformers. I was like, I should probably play the first one first, right? So I'll do that, and I bought a copy for my PS1. Well, to play on PS2. This is only, like, not so many years ago. And, just too hard. I just put it down. And that's as an adult, so going back to it now to stream might not be any better, but you know, it is easy for me to go back to now for a stream, actually, because they have just released that special version, haven't they? The anniversary edition, and I've been thinking about streaming that anyway. Oh, that's unfortunate. Look, I've made it to the end almost in one, except for that unfortunate checkpoint bounce. I may have even got every box, but, well, we'll do that one again later. At least we know that I can do it. Or Road to Nowhere. We're on a bridge now, folks. It's going to get tricky. Sparrow Year of the Dragon was the first game I finished 100%, says Sprout Stuff. Nice. Cool. Oh, the infamous Water Temple, Ben Cooper. For my shame... Well, not for my shame. I just never had a Nintendo console, but I've never played a Zelda game. But I'm aware the reputation of the Water Temple is, you know, precedes the game for sure. He's really quick to do his animation. I used to wait around for him to do that for ages as a kid, because I used to find that very entertaining, but I swear I used to have to leave him idle for about 5 minutes for him to do the fruit throw. Anyway, no one knows true pain than the very old console/gaming devices where there were no passwords, no save games, or save devices. One playthrough was all you had. Man, that's crazy to think about. Yeah. Yeah, in the days even before passwords, where it's like, hey, look, frankly, we don't have enough hours of gameplay to let you come back to this. You need to just try and do it in one go. And if you can't, well, that's what we call replayability, or, you know, that's how we get the gameplay hours out of you in this game, by it being hard and you having to do it in one go. That's 80s game design for you. 70s, 80s game design. Now, again, actually, I did play this one quite a lot as a kid, this level. I know it's sort of infamous. I mean, the High Road, the second bridge level, is more infamous. But, yeah, I played this one a lot. Partly because I found it really satisfying, the way that these sort of burgundy ones creak and then break away. I used to just quite like coming here and drop in all the planks. And so, because I have played this quite a lot, I'm not saying I'll definitely do this in one, but I don't actually find this as difficult as, you know, the reputation of these bridge levels. Oh, he says. Now, the High Road is different. When we get there, I can't promise that I'll do that in one, but I wouldn't be hugely surprised, let's say, if I manage to get the gem here. No promises, though. No promises. I never thought those ones were hard. Was slightly surprised when Insane came out and that was one that got all the complaints. Yeah, they were arguably, potentially you could say they were a bit harder in the Insane trilogy because of the way the hitboxes worked in that game, which was different to how the hitbox works in this game. Oh yeah, ready for launch? That's something I love about Crash Bandicoot, is sort of contraptions made out of crates and crates physics. You know, I think that's really fun. Like in the playback tapes or the flashback tapes you get in Crash 4. There's a lot of fun stuff there. I mean, also, you know, really punishing and difficult, but amusing. So yeah, I would say they probably were more difficult in the Insane Trilogy because it was easy to slip off stuff that you had landed on. In this game, it's pretty much you land on something, you know, you're on it or you're not kind of thing. So I would say they were harder in the Insane Trilogy, and I can understand why people were, you know, struggled with them so much. But also, I think there was probably a degree of, like, people... Because of Crash's presentation style, because it is quite... Oh no! That's unfortunate. Oh, you know what? I might do this... I might have another go. Because ultimately, I am going for 100%, so we're going to have to do it again at some point. Because Crash is this kind of Looney Tunes comic character, and it's brightly coloured, and people kind of remember it as this mascot game that they played as a child, I think maybe they were surprised by the level of difficulty that was in the Insane Trilogy. Not that it was anything to do with the Insane Trilogy itself, other than those slippery hitboxes, but just they perhaps forgot that Crash Bandicoot is actually quite difficult, particularly the first game. You know, Slippery Climb is very tricky, and Stormy Ascent, as I say, the level that was removed from the game before it was released, that one's really tough. So I think it was partly that. I think people had sort of... Rose-tinted is probably not the best phrase, because it, you know, implies... You know, it sort of speaks more to quality rather than anything else. But, yeah, they had a false memory of the game's difficulty. Or they just assumed, like, oh yeah, well, that colourful game with the fox that eats apples, that was probably easy, right? Oh, they've remastered that. They've remade it, have they? Okay, cool. That'll be fun. Fun little way to spend a few hours. Wait, hang on. It's not actually really, really, really easy. I thought it would be. You know, I think that was it. And then, you know, pill-shaped hitboxes as well. Not ideal in a platformer. Plus, the tricky thing that they had to deal with in the Insane Trilogy is coming up with a control scheme that was consistent across all three games, because the controls and the, you know, the movement and the jump height and stuff did change from one game to the next in all three PS1 Crash games. And, you know, it wouldn't have felt right to play a triple pack of games like that. Oh, see, there's some gems here. Can't see it now, it's because I'm standing on it, but... so we can't do this in one anyway. I've wasted my life. Well, at least if we die again, we know that we don't need to... See there? That's fine, that death. So, we can't get all the boxes. We'll carry on. We'll run right to the end. Yeah, so obviously, you know, releasing the game as a triple experience, as a trilogy, you needed a consistent control scheme across all three, because it would have felt really weird to sit down in the Insane Trilogy and go from one game to the next and have the controls change ever so slightly. So they had to come up with a running and jumping system that worked, or that was the same across all three games, even though the platforming, of course, in each game was designed for its own control schemes, or the control scheme was designed for the platforming. So you lose a bit of that bespoke stuff, which may have made Crash 1 harder. Oh, there was more gems there. I forgot about that. We've got to come back when we got our pink gem, but that's fine. Hello, Mr. Black. Welcome. Nice to see you. I could never complete Stormy Ascent no matter how many times I tried, says Upside Down. Do you mean when it came back out in the Insane Trilogy? Or did you try and... Because you can play it, the original PS1 version, by doing some fancy stuff. Like, you know, there are like modded versions of the ISO, I think, out there that... Or there's like a prototype build of this game, actually, that I might play one time on stream. A slightly different level order, and... Stormy Ascent is in it, and I think maybe like another 1 or 2 cut levels, which are really unfinished. I've never heard of decap attack, Milesy. No. Decap attack. Not familiar with that at all. I'm sure I've heard you allude to this thought, TP, but if you do play as Zelda, I feel that Wind Waker will be right up your street. Oh, really? I've seen, you know, I'm obviously aware of them all and their art styles and stuff, and some of the gameplay and characters and things. The Scary Moon and so on. So, I'd definitely like to play Ocarina of Time, because that is, you know, people say it's one of the greatest games of all time. Highest rated game on Metacritic, right? It certainly was for many, many, many years. Maybe it's been overtaken now by something else, but... So I should play Ocarina at least, but Wind Waker does look nice. And of course Majora's Mask seems like one I should try. I'd really like to play Conker. I should stream Conker. I don't know what N64 emulation is like. It's probably reasonable, right? Probably doable. Played a little bit of Conker at friends' houses, and I played Conker Live and Reloaded at my gamer uncle's house. That was the 360... Was that essentially a remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day with extra stuff thrown in? Or was it just a sequel? I can't remember. Was it called Live and Reloaded? Anyway, the 360 one that starts with the Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, in fact, the fact that it starts with a Saving Private Ryan parody level makes me think, was it not... Whoops, didn't see that TNT. I know that you can complete this level in one go anyway, so... I mean, you can't... You can't get a gem first time round. Unless it's the green gem. Basically, at the end of this level, there's a platform that we need to ride down into a pit. Now, maybe we will be able to complete this in one go if it's the green gem, because we have got the green gem now. So maybe I'll eat my words in a moment and I'll have to do it all again, but that's fine. These aren't too tricky. I've probably got an answer in the chat by now about Conker, and I can't read it because I'm running away from a boulder. No. It was so weird when this level, or maybe the first boulder... Oh no, it's not the right colour gem. When the boulder level was in Uncharted, and they actually remade it from the ground up. If you play it, the muscle memory is not the same. They've rebuilt that Crash level in Uncharted 4. We got a raid. Hang on. Why haven't we had an alert? We've not had a raid alert, have we? I see you all in the chat now. Sorry, I had to look away because I was doing my my boulder. Let me try replay activity. No. Oh, I've got loads of alerts. Oh no, hang on. Most of these are just sound alerts, so that's okay. But how strange. Not getting the raid alert. I can't even do it. Hang on, what if I go over and try and do a manual one? Anyway, hello raiders. Nice to see you. Alex is not an animal, nor is he a bandicoot. No, alert did not start. Oh, mine was acting up as well. Oh, really? Okay. How strange. I mean, I use Stream Elements. I don't know if you do, Alex, but or if you're a Streamlabs fellow. Yeah, I can't seem to do your best impersonation, Peter. I am not an animal. I am Crash Bandicoot. And then it's this theme tune, so I don't even have to do that. Anyway, thank you for the raid, Alex. Nice to see you, raiders. We're playing some ordinary Crash Bandicoot 1 today. No mods. Just the
results have been incredible.
The sound alerts work, but that's a completely different system. So... Anyway, it's lovely to see you, raiders. I hope you're ready for some serious bandy action.
What have you done with the controls, Gromit?
The mods are in the chat, of course. What have you done with the alerts, Gromit? Specifically, the raid alert. Because we did get a a subscription alert earlier. Oops. Well, I'll be restarting that immediately. Because we had... Let me try... Because, hang on, what we had Tinny Whiff earlier worked. Let me press that again. Oh. Okay, seemingly the alerts box has broken since we've gone live, because I've tried to replay Timmy Whiffs, and that's not worked now, but it did originally. So maybe there's just something going on at Stream Elements HQ. Hang on, there's one other thing I can try. I can pull up the actual thing where the alerts box is made and try this. Subscribe.
Thank you, my darling.
Well, you only heard that because it's working in the browser, but it's not working on OBS. I'm assuming there's something wrong at their end, but I don't know. I'll have a play with that before the next stream. We struggled so much with Streamlabs. Stream Elements cannot break now. It cannot let us down. I'm just gonna hope it's their problem and not mine. Anyway. Always good, a midstream breakdown, yeah. I might have a midstream breakdown in a minute. We'll see. It's amazing what the black-coloured water in this level does to the atmosphere of this whole place. Imagine if that was sort of lovely light blue water, like the little accents there. It would completely change it. I think it's so oppressive and I mean in a good... Ooh, I panicked. In a good way. You know, it really makes this level feel a lot more serious. The fact that the water's so dark and uninviting.
You're doing incredibly well, aren't you? What a sexy player! Ooh.
Thank you very much, Lionheart. Thank you. It is lovely to see Shy Bees. It's lovely to play as well. I'm having a great time, especially now I'm using this controller. It is making a lot of difference, I think. Conk 11 Reloaded was on the original probably original Xbox, maybe not 360. I just remembered it was an Xbox experience, but it was basically a remake. An N64 emulation is okay, but not as good or accessible as PS1. Okay, well, we can see. We can have a see. And maybe I'll stream... Oh, the ice cream van. There's an ice cream van that comes to my estate. And it started coming in the height of summer. You know, proper ice cream weather. And he's continued coming all the way through the winter. And he comes around the same time every day, so 5:45. So through the depths of winter, he was coming when it was dark. It was like pitch black outside, sometimes raining, or snowing even, and the bloody ice cream music would start playing. And he just wheels onto the estate. I don't know if anyone was buying ice cream. I don't know if anyone does buy ice cream at all, even in the summer, from him. I suppose they must do, otherwise he wouldn't keep coming. But I've just sort of wondered, like, why did he keep coming in the winter like that? And I don't know if there's some kind of territorial rules of ice cream van manning or womaning. Where perhaps if he didn't keep coming, he would lose his patch or something. Perhaps there's some sort of licensing issue where he had to continue coming all the way through the winter. It was really weird. You'd be lying, you know, you'd be sitting in the evening having your tea, you know, eating like a hearty pie or something to keep you warm in the winter. And then you'd hear da 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 outside. Kind of creepy, really. Selling ice cream. Well, yeah, indeed. Maybe that's why he continues to come. He's making it snow in his own way, perhaps. I eat ice cream in the winter. I mean, you know what, Benson Boy? I also eat ice cream in the winter. Nate, you're also suggesting he's selling more than ice cream. You could be right, but it's not really that kind of estate. There's a lot of kids and families here. So, I don't know. The next estate over, I mean, that's very much the kind of place he could go to sell more than ice cream. I'm not snobby about it, but I am. They're all druggies over there. No. But, yeah, weird that he just continued... Okay, here we go. It was the same here. Started joking that during snowstorms the buses would cancel but the ice cream truck would still show up. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, that's a breakable platform there. Back in the early noughties, we had an ice cream van. I'm sort of reading the chat while doing some Crash Bandicoot, which is not a good idea. It would come near the school. After a while, the guy was done for selling weed from the van. Okay, cool. Yeah. Devil's Advocate Productions says one of the toughest levels to get a gem in. Oh, really? Okay. Well, we're currently on for the gem, but do we need a coloured gem for this one? Because I might not have it yet. Oh, yikes. Scary. Now I'm panicking. What was I talking about before the ice cream van man arrived? Oh! Good old masks. True skilled players play one of the harder levels in the game whilst also reading the chat. You're right, you know, they probably do. There'll be people who can play this with their eyes shut. Without a doubt. Here we go. Hello? Cool. Yeah, Conker was I talking about? Yeah, N64 emulation. So yeah, I could give it a go, for sure. I've been meaning to look at N64 emulation, actually, because I just... not even necessarily for streaming, but just for my own pleasure, I'd really like to play some Diddy Kong Racing. Used to play loads of that game as a kid. Never owned an N64, but my best friend in the village I first grew up in, where I was born, had an N64, and then when we moved house, like more than an hour away, my new best friend in the village we lived in also had an N64. So I don't think he had Diddy Kong Racing, but there are various N64 games I have played and enjoyed, thanks to my friends, rather than owning it myself. Yikes. Damn it. Well, there goes the gem. We might need a coloured gem for this one, I think. I can't remember. Oh, come on. I know my alerts are broken, Nate. Yeah. We got a raid earlier and it didn't do it. Have you done an alert? Well, there's some bits come through, and we've had a new follow as well from Devil's Advocate Productions. I don't think it's a me problem. It's a me problem. Looks like as well we've had a new sub from Otha, I think. So, or other, potentially. In fact, that one might even be in the chat. So, thank you if you have subbed there. And then, yeah, we have got... we've had a further sub from... A follow, sorry, from Devil's Advocate Productions. Sorry you didn't get an alert. It seems to have broken while we've been live. It was working earlier, because we definitely had a sub come through. And 100 bits from Steven. Hello, Master Jedi Tiny Peter. How are you? How was your weekend? Lovely to see you streaming. Loved the new Worst Games Ever on Patreon. And loved your new video. Hope you're having a great day. Well, thank you, Steven. Sorry about the broken alerts. Don't know what's going on, but they just stopped working earlier. Maybe it was when I plugged in my PS5 controller. I've sent some sort of virus to Stream Elements. I love playing Crash, but I'm horrendous with moving platform levels. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out, though, Nate, because I may have potentially missed that. It's the kind of game where I'm not paying full attention to the chat, sadly. Although that seems to be me in general. It's one thing I'm really bad at, and it's not that I'm not interested in... Well, it's not... I'll tell you what it is. It's not that I don't pay attention to the chat, but it's that I start talking about stuff based perhaps on something that has been said in the chat, but then by the time I'm done talking about it, I've been gabbing for that long that loads of other things have happened in the chat, and then I miss a load of stuff because I spend so long. You guys get me just ranting and raving about things, which is no bad thing, but you know, it then does mean that I miss chat that I am interested in. I do want to see, but there's just, yeah, it comes thick and fast, and I don't speak thickly and fastly enough to get through what I'm saying. Hey Peter, you know, Star Wars, go. Yeah. I did do a little Star Wars last week, I think, so I mean, I don't really have anything more to say right now, other than I'm looking forward to this Darth Maul show, and it'll be nice to go and see The Mandalorian and see some cinema Star Wars again. About time it was back in theatres, even if they did absolutely balls it up last time. Hello, Crash? Why are you not? I'm jumping. There we go. Oh, it's a Cortex head. Okay, these do matter. We have to get those right in order to get a key to unlock a secret level. Never no need to rant, Peter. What do you mean? Thank you, Nate. See you soon. You enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch you later. Wasn't the last film Solo? The one that no one remembers. I think Solo came out before The Rise of Skywalker. In fact, it may have even come out before the last... Came out the same year as The Last Jedi, didn't it? Came out just after The Last Jedi. Ooh, like 6 months after The Last Jedi. And people say that's partly... Some people say that that's one of the reasons why it didn't do so well, because, you know, Last Jedi was very controversial, to put it kindly. And that some people were perhaps feeling a little disenfranchised at that point about the franchise. But also, you know, you're trying to, like, you know, it was a brave, if not foolish thing to do, make a movie about Han Solo that, you know, didn't have Harrison Ford in it. Now, I think that, you know, your boy, whatever his name was, I've forgotten, did a really good job. I thought Solo was okay. It was at least fine, and in some places good. And I'd love a Solo 2. In fact, I was really excited by the ending, where it's implied that he's off to start working for Jabba. I would love to see a film or TV series about the early days of Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt. I think that could be really interesting. Anyway. There you go. You've successfully got me ranting on Star Wars, but... yeah, so the last time it was in the cinema was Rise of Skywalker, which, again, not a great, well, yeah, it's not great that was the last time. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Left a bit of a bitter taste. So, you know, hopefully this will be better. And then there's Star Wars Starfighter, or whatever it's called, coming out soon as well. Is that also this year? Might be. Right, here's our third Cortex head, and again, I don't quite know what to expect here. I think a lot of TNT and stuff, so... Oh no, I'm going to miss Peter's Star Wars rant due to a work meeting. Don't worry, Ed. I'm pretty much done there, I think, now. Yeah, the sequel to Solo. Duo. Mr. Black, you didn't hate Solo. That's good. Alden Ehrenreich, that's right. He was great and done dirty. I agree. The thing I disliked the most about that film was the droid played by... what's her name? From Fleabag. I kind of thought that was a bit of a stupid character, to be honest. Didn't really enjoy it very much at all. Kind of felt like it sort of loved itself. Not the character in the story, but the concept of that droid really loved itself. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, yeah, that's right. I mean, really hot take here. Really, really hot take. I'm not like a massive Phoebe Waller-Bridge fan, and I know lots of people absolutely love her, and you know, absolutely, you know, go off. Like I don't actively dislike her or anything, but not really for me. What the hell? Where did that come from? I did not press down there. He jumped in towards the camera. That was very strange. Maybe I nudged it with the D-pad. I don't know. How strange. Well, there you go. There goes our chance. But we've got to come back here anyway to get the gem at some point. So, we'll get the key then, I suppose. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's no to K2SO. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Lando relationship thing was strange. I guess it was meant to be funny, but... And that's not the only reason I didn't like that character. I thought the droid rights thing was kind of strange. I don't know. I know like some droids gain... It's like a thing in Star Wars that some droids become more sentient over time depending on... I can't remember what it is that causes them to gain sentience, but... So, you know, I guess it stands to reason that if a droid started to become more sentient, it would quite rightly not want to be a servant to the human race, and it would be, you know, pro-droid rights. But, I don't know. It just kind of felt like a bit much. Like, just an unnecessary piece of the story that kind of got in the way a little bit and grated on me slightly. So, yeah. But yeah, the film as a whole... I thought it was good. I liked the train heist. I didn't mind the fact that Darth Maul was in it. Because he's already, you know, if you're a Clone Wars fan, you already knew he was alive. If at that point... I think the fact that Darth Maul was brought back from the dead at all, arguably, you know, is a bit... It's very Star Wars, isn't it? That no one ever stays dead. So, as far as that is concerned, I would say, yeah, you know... Whether it's the Clone Wars doing it, or Solo doing it, or The Rise of Skywalker doing it, bringing characters back from the dead constantly, you know, there should be less of that. But Solo wasn't responsible for Maul coming back, and so, you know, I didn't mind it. Anyway, there you go. Isn't Phoebe Waller-Bridge doing the new Tomb Raider series? She is. She's sort of writing and or producing and or directing. She's doing some parts of the production. She's not playing Lara. It's what's the name from Game of Thrones, isn't it? Playing Lara Croft. They've released a couple of photos, and I have to say, I'm reluctant to say because I kind of... Oh, I remember you can spin these rocks. I only learned that like a couple of years ago. I used to dodge them like that. Sophie Turner, yeah. So my thoughts on the early photos they've released of Sophie Turner as Lara Croft are... the problem is that my thoughts are probably shared by people with opinions that I don't agree with, you know? A certain internet crowd. Which are that I don't think she really is... At the moment, she's not giving Lara Croft. That's all... That's my only issue with it. She just doesn't really look or feel like Lara Croft. That's my complaint. Whereas some people, you know, have whole other sets of complaints that I don't agree with. But I'm happy to, you know, wait and see. You know, that's the most important thing to do with these things, is to not just judge it off a single press photo that's come out. The people think that she's not pretty enough. Yeah, I mean... Some people seem to think that. That's not... I just don't think she's got the same kind of, you know, facial structure or colouring or, you know, those sorts of things. I just don't think she looks like Lara Croft, which is not anything to do with whether I think she's pretty enough or whatever. I just think, you know, there are various types of people who look different ways. There's color. Is it called color theory in people? Amy talks a lot about it. There's a whole subsect of the internet and Instagram where you can like do do your color something or other, where it's like you can be a cool winter or a neutral summer or something like that. What's it called? Anyone? And you know, those are the sorts of metrics I think that are important when you're sort of casting someone as to, you know. And obviously you can like dye people's hair and stuff and do makeup and things like that, so it doesn't have to be that the actor or actress naturally looks like the character, but yeah, just like, I just don't think she looks like Lara Croft. That's it. Oh, hello. Color analysis, is that it? Yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's not. I'm not just talking about like her hair color and her eye color and her complexion and stuff like that. It's, you know, just the shape of her face and that kind of thing. Just not who I would have cast. She's a great actress. I would have loved to have seen her in the show playing someone else maybe, but I'll tell you who looks. I mean, you know, she's sadly no longer the right age to play the character now. But I'll tell you who actually looks not unlike Lara Croft, and who actually voiced her in some of the games, is Keely Hawes. She'd have made a great Lara Croft, live-action Lara Croft, once upon a time, I would say. Because she did voice her, and I think looks kind of like the character. I only learned about the fact that you can drop down there. Well, not a few years ago, quite some years ago, but certainly I didn't know about that as a kid. But you know, again, there's like a hint there, isn't there? It's like, why are they down? Whoops, why are they down there? They can't get you when you're jumping over the cliff. So surely they've only been put there because they're going to get you when you drop down. Ha. Who does the voice in the newer games? I'm not sure, actually. Sometimes we may have the same opinions as the Chuds, but we are not them. That's exactly it. Devil's Advocate Productions. To play Chud's advocate, yeah. Solo was responsible for more coming back for most people, though. It would have been confusing for more casual fans. No, I totally agree with that, Boring Loner. It will have been confusing for some people, for sure. And even more confusing given that they never followed up with a sequel to explain it to those people. Deadeye Maniz agrees that she is at the very least overrated, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah, you know, she's got talent, and Fleabag, I understand why it won awards, but it wasn't for me. And I did give it a go. I watched the whole first season, and I didn't really get on with it. I'd honestly rather watch, and this isn't an insult, this is, you know, just a comparison. I'd rather watch Miranda Hart, you know, the other person who looks down the lens and, you know, in a TV sitcom. And when I say, oh, and I'd rather watch Miranda, that's how bad it is, as I say. Not an insult. I love Miranda. It's a great show. But yeah. And maybe that's it. Maybe because at the time, you know, Miranda was still relatively fresh. Relatively recent. That was me just slipping on the D-pad rather than... I might be able to do this in one. I'll have another go. Yeah, so... Miranda was still relative. I think it might have finished by then, but probably only just. Or maybe there was some overlap. But, and given that I really enjoyed that sitcom, I think for then Phoebe Waller-Bridge to come along and be like looking down the lens... I was like, hey, who do you think you are? Step off. What have I got? Yeah. Being a bit facetious, but Camilla Luddington did it the last three, but there's a new voice actor for Catalyst. Oh, is that right? Okay. Hello, DJ Chisels. Welcome. What have I got? We can dislike Star Wars movies, but not because of woke or whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually. I seem to share a lot of opinions with the chuds, just not the ones that make them chuds. Oops. Like, you know, not really a fan of the Tomb Raider casting, and also I don't like The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. You're not a chud if you don't like those films, but also if you are a chud, you probably don't like those films. I think that's it, isn't it? I'm just using that word, not really knowing that much about. Like, is that? I don't know how strong that word is. It's not really in my lexicon, so hopefully I'm not just throwing out quite a strong noun there. But yeah, did I jump down the pit before? Yeah, I did. I did jump down the pit. Okay, that's good. I don't Last of Us 2, but gave up ever mentioning it because of the chuds. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's another reason, and not the most important reason, but another reason why I... Oh, damn it. Using all these masks. Hemorrhaging masks. Another reason why I hate their opinions. You know, not only are some of their opinions really offensive and based in, like, you know, the worst possible logic or reasoning, but on top of that is that if you happen to agree in not liking something that they don't like, but for different reasons, it makes it difficult for you to talk publicly about that, because you just get accused of, oh, is it, you don't like it because girls kiss in it. You're so gayist. Yeah, that's right. Oh no. I feel like I can do this. I can do this. No, I can do this. I might have one more try. It is a bit harsh that you have to do things in one life to get the gems in this game. But, you know, we are on the 3rd island already, so it is how, you know, you get your game, you get your runtime out of this game by going for 100% for sure. I feel like I'm not... Oh, maybe I have to just keep up the...
Do I detect a tear of frustration?
Yeah.
Is everyone laughing at you?
Laughing at me. I feel like that second jump, I'm sort of struggling to make it, especially with the second thing, but maybe you're supposed to just not really stop. Maintain your momentum. Because I don't remember struggling with that on previous playthroughs, but maybe you just... Yeah, you just do that. You need to keep up your speed. If you stop on that second platform, I guess it's a lot more tricky to get across. Anyway, there we go. Girls kissing. I bet they aren't even married. No, there's no such thing as marriage in the mushroom apocalypse. So that's even more sinful, actually, than the kissing. Nice. Okay. Now this time we're gonna do it in one. Watch me. Ooh, good start. Oh, so, yeah, this came to mind, Cofence, when I was talking about, you know, disliking things on the internet that undesirable people also happen to dislike, is that photo that was seemingly of the God of War series. Haven't they come out and said that it wasn't real? But didn't it come from an official source, though, is the thing. So I saw that, and I thought, that's not real, because that looks really, I'm not going to lie, that looks really bad. And I was like, there's no way that's real. But then I thought I saw someone... I didn't really look that far into it, because I don't actually have really... I'm not that invested in God of War as a franchise. I'm probably not going to watch the show. But I just, you know, I still am aware of Kratos and Boy, and have at least some thoughts in, you know, probably what that should look like as well. And so I was, you know, partially interested and invested, but I thought I saw someone say, oh, and this has been posted directly from Amazon or whoever it is that's making it. And then later, I thought someone from the cast, like, tweeted saying, don't believe everything you see on the internet or something. Dad of Boy. Yeah, I think one of the actors said something along the lines of, don't believe everything you read. Yeah, you're right, Wi-Fi. I thought I saw that too. But, which is, yeah, that's what I saw. But I'm sure I also saw that when that photo came out, apparently the source of that photo was the distributor of the show, or the production company or something. But maybe it wasn't. Admittedly, I didn't look that far into it, but yeah. That did not look good. And there are certain people on the internet who were saying, quite rightly, that it didn't look good, but they probably also have other opinions that I don't agree with about that or about other things. So I didn't really talk about it publicly, but I agree that that looked kind of shit. I think it was Amazon themselves that posted that, which yeah, see, that's my understanding of the story. And as I say, admittedly, I don't have the exact details and receipts, but my understanding is Amazon posted the photo, and then someone from the cast said, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet." So Amazon did post the photo, and it is supposedly real. Yeah, but then someone did say, "Don't." Lots of what Amazon posts is fake. Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was one short on that last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no! I'm trying to read the chat and count at the same time. Anyway, it's only a bonus, so that's fine. I think it was more of a, this does not represent the final product, like it being a test shot or something. Well, it definitely was. People were saying that at the time, that this can't possibly be from production, in the sense of it's not being snapped while they've been shooting, because they've not started shooting yet, maybe. And so they were like, well, this can't be from the actual studio floor sort of thing. So that could be it, in that it was real, but it was just not really representative. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. We got a quote from Forbes. Rather, I think the idea here is that this is probably not an actual still from filming of the show. That the show is filming now. Okay. But a test shot of the two in costume, similar to how we saw a picture of Sophie Turner as Lara Croft. Which people complained about, and, you know, I quietly thought, not sure. So it may look off based on it being that kind of posed shot. It could even be that some sort of composite, which is why it all looks so strange. It just looked like a kind of bad cosplay. So, I don't know. Some of them are popping at 9, weirdly. Oh, were they? Yeah, see, I was a bit... 2 of those, I was counting to 10, and they seemed to break 1 early. You've got to stay on your... Ooh! Stay on your toes in Crash 1. It's seemingly a bit glitchy, I guess. Definitely looked like Sophie going to Comic-Con. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually talking about the God of War one when I say bad cosplay. But, oh, yikes, I don't know if I really want this. I'll do my best. Oh, there was a mask there as well. I could have grabbed that later. Right, I've got to be careful next time there's a bouncy bit, because the bouncy platform launches you up into a hot pipe. And I think at the moment I'm actually still on for the mask, even though I died on the bonus round. That's fine. I really like these machinery game types. There's a good Bugs Bunny, well, good but very difficult Bugs Bunny Lost in Time level coming up on our Thursday streams. Probably, it could be this week that we play it, actually, depending on how long it takes us to get there. Called the Carrot Factory, or the Carrot Juice Factory, that is very much, you're on like an Acme conveyor belt, and there's all sorts of things slamming down and trying to chop you up, like in Attack of the Clones, or Chicken Run. Oh, this one actually I seem to remember not being too tricky, I think. It's more that you just sort of have to backtrack like that, and then backtrack again, so that's not too demanding. It's tricky not being able to see where Crash is, though. Ooh, yikes. Okay, there we go. Hello, Brio. There he goes. Disappears in a linear of smoke. This is why I'm never a big fan of video game adaptations. Well, yeah. It also looks AI generated, which gives people the willies. So that plus wrong Kratos CGI forest, willies everywhere. Yeah, maybe. Live action video game adaptations. Yeah, well, I've said before, I'd really like to try the Netflix animated Tomb Raider series, because the few Netflix cartoons, if you like, animated series that I've watched, I've quite enjoyed. I really, really like. I mean, I know these are all different, or you know, they can be from different writers and production companies and stuff. So you know, one doesn't necessarily mean that the others will be as good or as bad. But anyway, I really liked the He-Man Revolution and Revelation, or whatever they were called. Really enjoyed those. Oh, I think we're about to... Oh, look at this. We've got more than 100 lives, and I think we're going to get the gem. Did I do it? He's cheering. Did I get all the boxes? Perfect. Nice.
It's a sheep.
It's working again. It's a sheep. It's not a me issue. And that's a follower goal met as well. Right, hang on. Let's see if we can do this now. So thank you very much, Black Shield Legion, for following and for proving that the alerts box has now started working. I might be able to replay old stuff.
I understand you're quite expert in the collection of Canuts.
Canuts.
Hello, Master Jedi Tiny Peter Austin.
Hello.
How are you? How was your weekend? Lovely to see you streaming. Loved the new Wars games ever on Patreon and loved your new video.
Patreon.
Hope you're having a great day.
Thank you again for the bits there, Stephen. I'm glad you got your TTS in the end. I am having a good day. I'm having a good day apart from the broken alerts box. Thank you to Other or Other for the subscribe. That's a new subscribe at tier 1. Thanks so much for taking a chance on me. If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. And also we had a follow from DAP. Thank you, Devil's Advocate Productions, for the follow. Nice to have you. I see you in the chat, and appreciate the follow. Thanks for joining the flock. He-Man was great. First time I watched any He-Man anything, because Kevin Smith was involved, and I dug it. Yeah, I went out of my way to watch a bunch of 80s episodes, just so I sort of had a bit of a grounding in it, because I thought that I might appreciate it even more if I did that. You know, like I knew there'd be some throwbacks and stuff, or callbacks, so I was like, I'll try and just get a rough idea of what this really is. So I went on like the He-Man Reddit and was like, okay, what do I need to... Recommend me some episodes to watch before I watch the Netflix ones. And they did. And yeah, I thought it was really good. So anyway, yes, in fact, that reminds me of the point I was trying to make. I'd really like to try the Tomb Raider Netflix show. I've not got around to that yet, but I have seen some clips of it, and it's on my like watch list. Wow, if we were going for any percent, we'd have... I think I'd be able to probably complete this game quite easily in a single stream, so I'm quite glad that we're... Oh, mind you, this level, I never know where I'm going. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to go for an extra mask here. Which way? This way? I don't know. I've turned right twice. I'm not going to get all the... Okay. Should I backtrack now, maybe? While I'm invincible? That might be worth doing. No! Okay, while I'm still... I'm going to do a restart and try this again, but... I'm going to... while it doesn't matter, while the deaths don't matter, I'm going to just quickly see what's on the left branching path back there. Because I can never quite remember. I think you do just have to backtrack a bit in this level. So what is here? Oh, Christ. Oh, is this a dead end? Oh, no. And I've not really played much Castlevania. I've only ever played Lords of Shadow, was it called? Okay, no boxes this way so far. So maybe we don't really need to come this way. Well, we need a gem, so I might as well just carry on, actually. Well, that's good to know, at least, that I don't need to do the restart. Yeah, played Lords of Shadow on PS2 and really enjoyed it. But I've never really played any of the other games. But I know that there's an animated series of Castlevania, right? Which is supposed to be... I think it's supposed to be pretty good, isn't it? So I don't know if I should try that, given that it is meant to be good. But, you know, I don't really know anything about the franchise. I probably don't need to, but... Oh, is he dead? Okay. That's fine. I do need a gem, yeah. Those drums are popping off. I'd love to see a live performance of the Mask Form music. I think Amy's got her tea on. I can smell it. It smells really good. I can fucking smell it. She very kindly slipped a note onto my desk earlier. She got home about 5 o'clock. And she just slid a note onto my desk saying, "I've bought pizza." Yes. And I think she's got a pizza on at the moment. Okay, worth it. Okay, so when we come back here, the left path has nothing except it has the gem. So it doesn't have a box. There's a life back further back, but it's fine. I'll forget all of that. Oops. Anyway, I can smell the sweet smell of pizza in the air. Oh, come on. Whoa, playing video games and pizza? This guy is living the dream. I know, and I'm behind on one episode of The Apprentice as well, so we're going to watch that this evening. Although I have to say, that show is really... I mean, I've known it for several series, but it's not what it was. It's so contrived now. It's so forced. They're just absolutely set up for failure, and it's like... It used to be... I mean, yeah, that show is only ever entertaining when terrible business decisions are being made and, like, awkward, cringy moments happen, right? That is the entertainment value of the show, no doubt. Whoops. So... Yeah, I don't actually want to see a show where people just show good business acumen and make a reasonable amount of money. I want to see them fail. But it was far more entertaining when they just used to, like, bring on people who kind of thought a bit too much of themselves and made hilarious mistakes. But now it's just... They're put in these impossible situations where, of course they're going to, like, come up with something absolutely dreadful because they've been given an hour to do so with no information, and they're not allowed to call... They're allowed to call their mates once, and probably there's a whole list of things they're banned from talking about. And that's not entertaining. It's just a bunch of people who couldn't get on Sex on the Beach or whatever, you know. They'd rather be on Love Island, but they've decided, okay, well, I'll go on this. And then, like, maybe 3 other serious business people. And then a production crew that just absolutely stitches them up from the first minute of the show. And I don't think that's as fun. Always shout at the TV, "You've never watched this show before." Have you never watched this show before? Yeah. I concur with these points about The Apprentice. I haven't watched this series yet. I might. I'm still watching it, obviously, because I'm saying I'm going to watch it tonight. So it's not absolutely put me off watching it at all, but it's just like, you know, it's not what it was. It is circling the drain, for sure. And they've tried, actually, to reinvent it this season. You can tell that they've gone out of their way to mix it up. They didn't come up with their own team names this time. There's moments now where they're talking in the car and back at the house that they never used to do during the firing stage. They don't get a treat anymore. The first boardroom was not in London. It was elsewhere. You know, all this stuff. You can tell, and they've got, like, celebrities on and stuff as kind of experts. So obviously they're trying to reinvent it, but they've reinvented it in the wrong way. been a real soapbox stream today, hasn't it? I've got a lot of things to complain about. I've gone through all my drink because I'm getting a sore throat from talking so much. Man. Anyway, generator room. This one's a bit tricky. And scary. Look at that. Look at that for an opening shot. Is he just in a room somewhere? Is this a live feed? Is he in his office just going... Oh god, yes, this is like the industrial music track, this one. Hopefully in a few years they'll reinvent it as The Apprentice Back to Basics, but also replace Alan Sugar. Oh, that's the other thing, is Alan Sugar's, the jokes he just makes now, the puns. And then Tim and Karen just sort of laugh along hysterically, like it's the funniest thing anyone's ever said. Maybe the camera is the thing moving. Could be. I appreciate that being your first time chat as well, Calcium Me. With a genuinely worthwhile suggestion. It's not wasted. You've not wasted that first time chat. You can, like, oh, hang on. Oh, jeez. That should come back. There we go. You wouldn't want to not laugh at someone whose catchphrase is firing people. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, this week's Apprentice in a nutshell. I forgot about that. When they were up for a job, it was better. Now Alan Sugar wants them to have a good business already, so they're not already completely incompetent. The change ruined it. Wasn't that because he was sort of sued by... Oops. Oh, quick, this is going to fall. Okay, here we go. Oh, you do actually have quite a lot of time on this thing. There we go. I think he was basically sued by a previous winner or runner-up, where when it back when it was The Apprentice, and it was, you know, you're going to work for me. I think someone won, and then they weren't really working for him. You know, they had no contact with him at all. They just worked for his company, or something. And I think they were kind of complaining that that's sort of misrepresentation. Like, the whole idea was, you know, I'm going to be his apprentice. I'm going to work directly from him, work directly with him, learn from him, and so on. And I think there was kind of a bit of a lawsuit or something. All downhill from here, Kelsey. Yeah, well, you know what? Oh, damn it. I can continue posing questions like that you can answer for us. You can just be this. You can be the oracle of the chat if you like. Whenever we need someone sensible to pipe up with, hey, you do realise it could just be the camera moving. You'll be there. Michelle Dewberry, I believe, is that who was disappointed with not being his apprentice. So that's the main reason why they changed it to an investment. And now he says, you're going to be my business partner, rather than you're hired at the end, which is kind of daft. He should just still say you're hired, figuratively, I think. You are figuratively hired, because it rhymes with fired, and it's better than saying you're going to be my business partner. Okay. And Cortex Power is history, or whatever this one's called. Generator room. There we go. It's a tricky one. Tricky beast. Beast. Oh. Oh, there was a life up there. I knew it. I know this level design. I know these guys. You got to jump on those stacks. There's going to be something up there. I appreciate what they were going for with this slightly more experimental track, but it's not my favourite. Bum, 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 bum. You're inspired. Yeah. The Apprentice also gave us that horrible Haiti woman. It did. What's her name? Katie... Not Price. Hopkins. Yeah? Yeah, she was from there. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I should have really seen that coming, given that he was right in front of me, doing exactly that. But, hey. Oh, now I've got to try and break this without the explosion. Oh, I panicked and I jumped into the camera bot. We go live to camera bot. Bot cam. Bot cam is something completely different. You have to pay extra on Patreon for bot cam. I don't have a Patreon. I do have a Ko-fi though. I mean, obviously, you know, you can just donate directly to the link above if you wanted to donate to support my Twitch streams. But, you know, lots of ways to hand over your hard-earned cash to someone who is trying to earn it by just playing video games, if you so choose. Oh, we were really near the end there. We kind of nearly did it. CEO Lord Alan Pinstripelli Potteroo. Sugar. Safety first. Well, we didn't even get a second... We didn't get all of our brios there. Although they're not showing at the bottom. Hang on. What? I thought I was collecting brios. Do you not get your brio masks once you die? Do they vanish? Maybe they do. Maybe you have to stay alive. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. We'll come back for that one. Peter will take your money if you want to give him some. That's a good summary, Lord Brotovich. And there are so many ways for you to do so. There's the Worst Games Ever Patreon. There's the donation link. There's bits. And there's my Ko-fi. And you know what? There's also the option to not do so. There is no pressure, ever, to donate to anything that I'm doing. It's enough that you're here, you're queer, and you're not going to disappear. And anyway, let's face it, sometimes you have to sit through ads to consume some of the content that me or Ben or both of us put out. And so that's another way that we're paying our bills. We're getting used to it, yeah. Oh, yikes! This level is okay in terms of difficulty. Toxic waste. There was that interesting one in Crash Bandicoot Back in Time, the mod that I streamed not so long ago. Available on the VODs channel now. That was toxic waste inspired. But it was like, it was the sort of the gorillas or whatever they are from Crash 2 throwing barrels instead of the rats. It was fun, it was clever. You can run underneath these things if you step in the right spots, but I prefer to try and just do it in one like that. Though there isn't an area coming up where I don't think you really can do it like that. You do have to kind of... You can just jump sideways as well to get around it, but... Yeah, but Vidiots and Triple Jump went down because we didn't give enough money, says Boring Loner. Well, I mean, yes and no. I know obviously... Whoops. I know obviously it's a running... Oh, I should maybe... This is one I can do in one, so I will do. Unless there's a gem required. I don't think there is. I know it's a running joke that Vidiots changed rather than disappeared, but it kind of, in a sense, it did. It, like, just turned into a podcast. You know, it didn't completely go away, and it lasted for 7 years if you include that. It lasted... It outlived Triple Jump. I know it wasn't the same as Vidiots. It was a different thing, but you know. And then Triple Jump, you know, it wasn't so much that. In fact, it really wasn't that people didn't give enough money. It was the YouTube performance. Really, that was the problem there, unfortunately, which is not really anyone's fault at all. I'm sure it's our fault in some way. We should have, we could or should have maybe done things differently, but it's just like, it would be nice if there was just a textbook, you know, and it said, here's what you have to do differently to make it work. No matter how hard it would have been, we would have done it. That's the thing. It's just not knowing what you have to do sometimes. So many people telling you so many different things about, hey, here is how you have success on YouTube. Here's how you beat the algorithm. Here are the things you should do, here are the things you shouldn't, and you don't know what to try. You don't know what your problem is. So that's all it came down to, is not really knowing exactly how to fix matters. So, yeah. It really wasn't a people not giving enough money sort of issue. And that will turn into a live show. Idiots, yeah. Well, we've got 2 dates, of course. So, well, not 2 dates. 1 date, 2 showings, 2 times on 1 day for the live show. And who knows if, you know, is this going to fall in the goop? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Ooh, the skid when you land with a spin. The little slide he does. It's very scary. I managed it, though. Yeah, I mean, who's to say we won't do... Oh, I realised at the last second that they're close enough that they're going to set each other off. I'm glad I spotted that. Yeah, not based on anything at all. This is not any kind of hint, but, you know, who's to say we won't do more live stuff in the future? We might do absolutely nothing. No more live stuff, but maybe we will. You know, it might be the very, very last thing that we do, or maybe we'll do a little bit of non-live content at some point in some way. I don't know, but we will see. Sounds like a hint to me, yeah. Oh no, I missed 3 boxes. How did that happen? Is there a gem there? Anyone see a little invisible gem? Did I miss a gem? Well, not miss a gem. It was. Should there be a gem there that we come back for and use later? I didn't see 3 boxes, but I'm trying to think. Anyway. Peter promises they will do more live stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's pinstripe now. I had a miss a gem as a teacher in school. Miss a gem. Agatha Gem. Oh, it's a lovely day out there. I've never noticed the sky up through the skylight. Look at that. Can't really see it now, but it was there. You know, something that Crash 3 lacked a little bit was some of the animations. The Crash animations that you get. You know, in this one, Crash he'll huddle here, which I think is quite nice. I mean, I guess they partly did that so that you knew how to actually do the level. But and in Crash 2, he's actually better animated than he is in Crash 3. When he runs away from the polar bear, he's sort of looking over his shoulder and going, "Yikes!" And there's not so much of that in Crash 3. There's a good idle animation when he does his yo-yo. I have to say, I'll let him do another circle. I love when his gun stops firing. He's still going like that, as though he's, as though he was doing the recoil himself manually. It's not actually the gun that's doing it. Once it stops firing, he's still going. Ah, it's fun. Whoops. Oh. This last one's a bit tricky because he's sort of standing on the edge of the table. according to the lore of the Japanese versions of Crash 1 and Crash 2, even though it appears at the end of this game that Crash and Torna live happily ever after, she is, of course, missing from later games. I don't know if it's because she was this sort of sexualized character and they thought maybe let's get rid of her. But canonically, according to the Japanese game manuals, which were approved or based on information sent to the studio by Naughty Dog, Torna ran off with Pinstripe. They ran off together to Chicago or something. Or when he mounts the baby polar bear and flashes his eyebrows. Yeah, and he flashes his eyebrows in this game as well. I suppose he does a few things in Crash 3, like when he gets a gem or a crystal at the end of the racing level, he sort of, reaches up and grabs it. But I can't remember if there are gaps in this. So if I run downwards now, there are some planks. But yeah, there are. Okay, so I think it's just 2 at a time. Maybe. Let me just start again. And I think they're separated by approximately 1 jump length. So we'll see if we can manage this. It is indeed because of her design, much like Candy Kong. I do... Classic Peter looking in his cupboards during a stream. I don't think it's easily accessible, though. In fact... Yeah. I don't know. I do have... Yeah, it's under a load of stuff. I do have a copy of the art book that came... Was it made sometime during the production of... Oh, there's no more... No, there's nothing there. I can't remember if it was sort of made in conjunction with the production of the Insane trilogy, or if it was just a completely independent thing. I think it was a sort of Insane parallel product, but Crash Bandicoot... The Crash Bandicoot story... The Adventures of Willy the Wombat or something. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically a big art book. Mostly art, but also sort of the story of the development. And they have some concept art of, well, all the characters. But yeah, there's some Torna stuff in there where she's, so clearly meant to be sort of Jessica Rabbit kind of character. I can see why she didn't last. I mean, not that there's anything absolutely inherently wrong with that, but it's just, there was too much of it at the time in the 90s. I think now if that character was made, as long as she was, like, given extra dimension, and I'm not talking about her, her measurements now, you can have a character that looks like that, provided you're not, provided she's got a lot more going for her. But if that's all she is, then that's where the problem lies, I think. It's not absolutely sinful that, like, if you dare have someone with an unrealistic waist, then you should go to hell as a company. I mean, it's not great, but there are ways around it, I guess, is what I'm saying. So if Torna came back with that design in a future Crash game, which, is unlikely given that they've got a new Torna design, but I think they could work with it and get around it without it being absolutely, damnable. But it's the fact that that's all she was, really, back then. She has no lines of dialogue in this game. She's literally a damsel in distress. And, Crash's reward for rescuing her at the end is he gets a great big cuddle from her, Not what you want from your female characters. Coco's great, though, She was clearly meant to be sort of the replacement. Damn it. And she's got a great design, and she's got great characterization in later games. She doesn't really have so much going for her in Crash 2 and 3. She talks a bit in Crash 2. In fact, she talks more in Crash 2 than Crash 3. I don't think she says a word in Crash 3. Well, mind you, Crash doesn't speak either, but, they're called Naughty Dog for a reason. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Kind of wanting to play objectively the worst early Crash game, but for some reason one of my favourites, Wrath of Cortex. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, DJ Chisel. It's someone else's favourite as well. I would say, yeah, objectively the worst of the first 4, or first 5 if you include Crash Team Racing. But we were saying, you know, perhaps a little bit unfairly kind of judged, or like its reputation nowadays is a little bit harsh. I mean, it's still, you know, there is a lot wrong with it. I won't pretend. I won't for 1 minute sort of say otherwise, but yeah, it's not as terrible as it's made out to be. It is easy to do these jumps if you're coming out the turtle with a bit of momentum. Oh, yikes, okay. Oh! I'm panicking! Gromit! Oh my god. I can't believe I saved that. I was going around in circles. I did about 2 loops then. Oh, you need a gem for this level as well, actually. I've just realised.
You're doing incredibly well, aren't you? What a sexy player.
There was some...
What have you done with the controls, Gromit?
There was some serious clutch. Some skill, maybe, some would say. Although, if I'd had all the skill, I wouldn't have got into that mess in the first place. Yeah, I think I need the pink gem here. I'll wait. I am, of course... Ooh, yikes, he doesn't come this far. I am, of course, aware that you can walk on the ropes in this level. And it's easier to do, actually, in the PS1 version than it is in Insane Trilogy. Ropes are a lot slippier in Insane, but... I think it's this level you need the pink gem. Maybe it was the one we've already done. Maybe it's both. It, like, sends you off to the side. Oh, well, that's gonna... Well, it's gonna make differences, actually, if I die. Oh, yikes. Okay. Slippery. Okay. I'm doing alright. Oh, yeah, okay, whoops. That's Discord. I forgot to close it before the stream. That's my Discord, not yours. Whether you're watching live or on the VOD, that was my Discord. Hang on, wait. Oh, have I done enough? Oh, god damn it. I only realised halfway there that I was doing wrong. Anyway, it may not matter.
Do I detect a tear of frustration?
God damn it!
Is everyone laughing at you?
Yes, Milesy. I hope we need the gem now, otherwise... Oh no! Oh no! Do we not need the gem on this one? Could I have done that if I'd not just died then? I didn't see an invisible gem in this level. I might just Google it. The high road. The high road. Do you need a coloured gem to 100% the high road? No, I don't think you do. Well, we've got 10 minutes left of the stream. I clearly could have done that in one go if I'd not had a little slip at the end there. If I'd not detected a tear of frustration. So I might have one more try at that one. Whoops! Sort of going a bit too fast on this now, this bit. There we go. Ooh, steady now. Careful. Oh, he comes quite close. Sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't. Shall I do the 2-circuit bounce this time? You know that, the classic The classic 2 circles in the air. The panic. It's not really a proper high road... It's not really a proper high road run if you don't do that in the sky, right? Do 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 do. Panic on the high road. Oh no! Don't forget these.
Go into the garden and bury yourself where none of us can see you. You're making us puke.
Make myself puke with the how close I came to it last time. Thank you, Benson boy. I can't believe the bouncing... Oh, damn it. The bouncing circles I did before. Insane. Insane. I wonder if this game allows you... Do you get the 100... Oh, maybe you do, actually. This might be... one of the Crash games where if you... respawn at the start. So if you die and go back to the checkpoint,
And I use the bucket.
I forgot about that. And I use the bucket. Thank you, Cooley Wooly. Is this one of the games where if you die and you respawn at the beginning of the level, so you've not got a checkpoint yet, it still counts as a run from start to finish? And if you get all the crates, it lets you have the gem. It might be that I don't have to quit and restart like that. I know that does happen in some Crash games, but I don't know if... I have a feeling possibly they even included it in this and then it sort of wasn't featured in all future games. And it's something that this game did right and later games didn't always do right. I'm not sure though. Like even in Crash 4, I think. If you're going for, you know, completing a game in 3 lives, if you die and it takes you back to the level start because you've not got a checkpoint yet, you still have to quit out and load in again, which is... Ooh, just careful. Which is not good. That is not really acceptable, I think, by this stage in the Crash Bandicoot franchise. That should not ever be happening. I would test it on an early level, not this one. Yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? Yeah, if I die at the start, well, I think I've got a checkpoint by now, haven't I? But yeah, I wouldn't go, oh, I'm going to carry on and just go to the end. I like how all games, especially platformers, have decided that turtles are bouncy. Yeah, yeah, they have. But yeah, I think that's one of the little quality of life touches that the Crash 4 mod, Enhanced Edition, I always forget what it's called. Oh, there's something up there. I just saw it. Can I get on these ropes? I think maybe the rope's in between the bridge. Oh no, you can. Anyway, I think there was something up top. It might just be a life, though. And if I'd bounced off the checkpoint, I could have got it. No, damn it. These ropes, I think, are a little tighter to get on than... Oh, God! Maybe you have to sort of do it forwards instead. There we go, that's probably a bit better. I'm really struggling to get on top of this, actually.
Cheetah.
Oh, I'm alive. Hello? Can I get back up?
The results have been incredible.
I'm sure I saw something up. Oh, Maybe I didn't, actually. Oh, yeah, there's a box. Oh, I would have... You know what? There's a box up there, and I didn't know that was there. So I would have got all the way to the end if I'd done it in one life, which I wouldn't, and not got the gem. So that was worth messing around with and trying to find. Problem is, I need to finish on time today, so this might be our last attempt. But that's fine, because we're going to do it in one now. Watch me. Ooh, nearly overshot that. You don't have to jump backwards and come at them with momentum necessarily. You can sort of build a bit of momentum by bouncing backwards and forwards on them, but... And I don't know necessarily if there is any jump in this game, in this level, where you can't just do it from a standstill. But sometimes it just gives me a bit more confidence in me jumps. Right, so here's the checkpoint. Ooh, oh my god, I dropped an X input and mashed it and got another one out of it at the end there. Okay, I don't think there's anything above that one. Ooh! Oh, yikes. Wasn't sure where he was going to stop. Okay. I'm glad they don't keep running once you jump over them. That would be a lot more difficult to contend with if there was a warthog coming at you from behind. Right. Okay, next checkpoint is where there's a stripey... Oh no, there's a life, I think. A life crate above the... there it is. Oh! I stopped to look at it, and I fell. It's 6:59. I can probably have one more try. I just sort of hesitated for a moment. As it came into frame, I just sort of glanced at it, and I think I just let go of forwards.
Oh, it's legs.
Is this legs? I've not found my legs yet. Forget the fruit. Don't need the fruit. Where we're going, we don't need fruit. And literally, I literally don't need fruit because I've got 90 lives. It's now 7 o'clock. This is absolutely my last attempt. Even if I just fall and die instantly, I've got to stop. But I feel like I can do it. It would be the high road, wouldn't it? The last level of the stream. The infamous high road. I mean, as said earlier in the stream, it was more infamous on the Insane trilogy, but ooh. Ooh. Torna. I've probably not got time for the bonus, I was going to say. Well, there we go. We overshot, and sadly, I cannot overshoot my finishing time today, which is unfortunate. Otherwise, you know, if it was under normal circumstances, I would linger for a moment and just get that finished off. But let me do a save state, because actually, we are, in a sense, cheating a little bit, because you only normally get to save the game in this game by completing a bonus level or something else, getting a gem or something.
Cheetah.
You don't get to save just from level completion, but cheetah, yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm not playing levels again next time just because of that, because of old game design. Right, save state, there we go. So that should be saved. We'll play some more of that next Monday. That was a nice time, though. I had a good one. Hope you did too. Thanks to everyone who's chatted today, and to all of you who've followed and subscribed and stuff. Sorry about the temporary broken alerts box there, but it just sort of fixed itself. I'm guessing it was a Stream Elements problem, but there we go. I might just have time to raid someone to were itch. Let me see. Any live friends? We've got Anna Pacitti and Andrew. Andrew's playing Wallace and... I'm trying to remember who I raided last out of Andrew and Adam, because they're both live at this time normally. It was probably Andrew, so we could do a do an Adam Pacitti raid. I mean, can I say no to a Wallace and Gromit raid though? I don't think I can. You know, we'll raid Adam next Monday, but I can't not raid Wallace and Gromit Project Zoo, surely, right? So, go and say hello to Andrew for me. Can you pass on my apologies too? Because I've got to leave instantly. So when he says, "Hiya, Peter, son, lad, lovely boy," which he will. Hope you had a great time streaming. What were you playing? Then you'll have to tell him what I was playing. Right, go and raid him. That's enough from me from now. Live on Thursday again at 7 o'clock. We're playing some more Bugs Bunny for some, you know, where we like our PS1 fun here. But thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Go and have a nice time with Andrew and Wallace and Gromit. Lovely. Bye, everybody. See you later.